Hello and welcome everyone to the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitational. I am your shoutcaster for the afternoon or night, I imagine, depending where you are. Abyss, and joined with me is the one and only Malachi to be co-casting. How are you doing, Mal?
Hi, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I mean, we're on to some very fantastic games here today. I mean, not really fantastic if you're going into Group B, as this is the elimination match for both teams that are playing off today. And do you mind telling me who those teams are?
Yes, of course. We are going to be watching two very powerful teams. Yes, I mean, Elimination, sure, but these two teams have definitely proven themselves in previous tournaments, if I recall correctly. And it will be between Trident Esports versus Chubby Bunny. So I believe went under a different name based on a source I have, actually. But other than that, these two teams are definitely experienced in the scene, the competitive scene. So I'm looking forward to their series nonetheless. You know, despite it being an elimination series, I'm sure they have a lot to bring to the table, especially because, as you know, you mentioned, right, they lose this, they're out, so they really got to give it their all in this series upcoming.
And yeah, no, we do have both teams. So we have Trident Esports versus Chubby Bunnies, and it's gonna be looking like quite a bit of an adventurous. I mean, not really adventurous. I mean, we've seen these maps before, minus like the second map that's going to be happening. But if we go on to the map picks, we do have Lotus as our first map, which is Trident Esports pick, and then we have Breeze following it off, which is Chubby Bunny's pick, and if we do go on to the decider map, it will be Haven. We love our Haven, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I gotta say, they really banned out a lot of the smaller maps, I'd say. I mean, besides like Summit, I guess, but Lotus, Breeze, Haven, traditionally very large maps, very much macro heavy to a certain degree. And you know, I think these two teams are definitely confident in this kind of sort of thing, where, you know, Trident are picking a like 3-site map. Bunny it's more of selecting this sort of like it's a big map, Breeze, but it's more of like more opportunities for aggressive plays. And then Haven, once again, another 3-site map. So these teams seem to be very comfortable in these sort of situations where a lot of like slower plays are necessary to a degree. But you know, as someone that loves fast plays, chaotic moments, I'm hoping that they bring something a bit of a flair, a little bit of spice going into it, make it a little bit of a tastier series, you know, something that isn't bland. And I'm sure they are going to be bringing that into this elimination series, given the fact that a lot is riding on this series nonetheless, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna show any bias, even though there is a team with Chubby Bunnies. I'm not going to, as a bunny myself, I'm impartial to all teams, whether they have bunny or not in their name. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how both of these teams play. Lotus being a very mid heavy map, or like trying to get as much space as possible. Actually, not really mid heavy. It's more focused towards A Rubble and C Mound, and we'll just go into Agent Select right now, and we are seeing a lot of you're seeing some very pretty some standard picks. You know, you have the Fade coming out, you have Neon looking very heavy into the meta right now. Omen as well. We are looking more towards double duelist for Chubby Bunny's side, and and then we see double Senti being hovered over by Trident Esports, so that's gonna be fun.
That is gonna be fun. I am looking forward to it, especially since they are running that chamber, right? Which in a map like Lotus is very good in terms of hard contesting certain angles. Like if you're playing on attack, you really can contest Rubble all on your own because you force a lot of that utility early and you just escape with the rendezvous. So it's like it's very easy for a chamber to play off these like really risky angles, while the Deadlock plays more of that site holds, that more traditional sort of like flank watch in a sense, right? And that's really what is nice about this double Sentinel match, the composition that Trident Esports have. And of course the traditional Neon, Fade, Omen, you know, that both teams are running. I am excited to see how this Waylay will be played out on the side of Chubby Bunnies, because Waylay is, I mean, Neon's also known as an entry duelist, don't get me wrong, but the thing about Neon is that she also got nerfed, so her entry potential isn't as strong. But Waylay is one of the faster entries with that light speed and can easily get out of a pinch. So I'm excited to see how Waylay is played. I did say I want a hectic game.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be very explosive, you know, just as you would you wished, and it's quite interesting. You know, we have a 50% win pick rate here for Lotus towards Trident Esports. Chubby Bunnies trying to steer close away from Lotus, but unfortunately, you know, this is their time to try and shine, or like, you know, to bring out you know, a team comp that will hopefully work in Lotus for them. And yeah, no, it's gonna be quite fun to see how this game hits.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, as we mentioned, right, you know, there's gonna be a lot of that, you know, macro play, a lot of that kind of like fast motion, a lot of that also macro, you know, the slower plays also to a degree, because a lot of like decision making needs to be made on both teams, given the fact that Lotus 3-site map, you really need to play out your cards properly, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? And you want to play the map, you want to play that split, or if you are going to be committing for one area, you need to make sure you dump everything there, you know, like you really need to hard commit. If you're committing, you go all the way, never do it half-heartedly. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to on the attacking side, because I feel like both teams will definitely pull something off, something like that, I'd say.
Yeah, no, it's going to be. I mean, me and you, Abyss. We haven't touched much of Group B. We've only really been casting towards Group A, and so hopefully we can see what these two teams have to offer for this series. You know, as it is there, it's do or die.
Definitely. I mean, I'm looking forward to how this will turn out, because already, right off the bat, it is going to be Bunny going into that A rubble control. And I mean, that is what they're strong at, right? They are good at entering with that Whaley utility, and with the blind coming on forward as well, it will be Nove to fall first. All the way off the bat, it's earning the first blood in favor of Chubby Bunnies, and they are going to be pivoting towards that B side. And it should be pretty difficult to contest this, given the fact there's 3 players on the side of Trident, and yet they are looking for this play. But Kakashi is able to find 3 onto the side of Chubby Bunnies. It's down to a 1 versus 2. Lychee will have to look for a retake, but they are going to be going towards that C site instead.
Yeah, no, amazing, incredible paranoia there by Wilted, and Kakashi just being able to land the most nastiest shots there, making it a 3, you know, turning it into a 2v1 now for Lychee. And Lychee just needs to pick up the, you know, Kakashi's picks here.
Definitely. And Lychee has to clear this angle, and they are aware of it. They're playing double up on this mountain control, and they are looking for the double play. And yet, I feel like there's a little bit of a mistake there. Her grab net is pretty good. Both of them getting tagged. 22 HP left remaining on JJ. They can look for the defuse on the side of Trident, but it will be the swing on forward by the Vise, and it will be a wallbang headshot with the Bandit. First round will be going to the side of Chubby Bunnies with a really stellar entry on that A rubble control into that switch up.
You know, I really enjoyed how they immediately took that A rubble control really nicely, but then they decided the pivot was really good towards B side as well, and just heading towards C, because the chaos at B was so, you know, there was a lot of things happening there. So the pivot over towards C side there for Bunny really worked out there in their favor after falling into the hands of Kakashi there.
Yeah, and now it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a different play coming out from the side of Chubby Bunnies. They are on the anti-eco round, so they are not going to want to give up their guns for free. And right now, they're just waiting for an overstep from the side of Trident. It seems like they are trying to lean towards this B area, or this A push, with JJ actually just running through Yasuto Rosado, looking for the kill, and will be able to find it on the device. So already, first blood will be on the side of Trident. And now they are going to be leaning towards this B with, of course, Splash leading the charge. It will be the Whaley on the Vandal. But they don't want to commit this just yet. Grab that comes out, but it doesn't really land onto anyone. And yet, I feel like they are a little bit worried on the side of Chubby Bunnies, but they are going to be moving towards that A rubble control.
Yeah, as we can see here, though, Namui just being very patient here, being posted up onto this A site. And yeah, Bunny will just be going in and re-clearing out this rubble space here. And Namui would just be trying to get a pick and TP away. The teammates of Trident, unfortunately, not being able to get the pick that he wanted, and gets picked off there.
Yep, Sandwich able to get a kill with the Marshall. Looking for more action, in fact, and will be able to get it with the no-scope. They are going to be forcing down towards Defender spawn, and it should be the side of Chubby Bunnies taking this round, especially with clean shots such as... Oh, as I say that, a little bit of a whiffage, but Sandwich is able to take down 4 players on the side of Trident, and it should be a pretty clean round for Chubby Bunnies.
Yeah, Chubby Bunnies, they're like, oh my god, I mean, obviously it's an econ round, but like Savage, they're absolutely landing those no-scope Marshall shots. Like, you know, it's just you know, walking into a kid's playground there, you know, just having fun, pretty much.
Definitely. I mean, I feel like, you know, when given the fact that you do have like that one-shot potential with a Marshall, you are going to be hunting for each potential play. And I think he's going to be doing the same thing once again. A Sandwich will be contesting this mount. Needs to be wary, though. It is a one-way setup, and he just barely misses the headshot onto the Omen, onto Wilted. But now the rest of the team will be playing towards this A side. Full rubble control taken. And now it's all up to Nemui holding on to A side on their own door. Will be open with the Prowler, and I think he will just decide to back away. However, the Prowler will spot him out. The relay bot coming out as well towards the backside with the Paranoid to support. He needs to play towards the right side control. However, it will be Sandwich getting taken down instead. Looking for the second one as well. Onto the Waylay, onto Splash, but he's unable to find it just yet. And it will be that trade. 1-for-1 at the moment, but Nemui looking for more. A 3K finally ends up falling, but at the very least, Lychee's able to go for the support. It's all down to JJ with a Bandit. Looking for more. Dink through the wall. I think Nove is going to be playing it a little bit safer here in this corner, because you never can underestimate the Bandit in this situation. But at the end of the day, it will be a pretty good bonus round from the side of Trident off the back of Nemui's 3K.
I belong here.
Yeah, no, Nemui, they're absolutely holding the line on A side, not willing to give it up just yet, but unfortunately falls in the end there, but just like absolutely was able to get those frags that he needed to secure that round for Trident.
I think right now, you know, Trident, they're looking a little bit, you know, especially Nemui, right? I want to say they're looking clean, but they need to be wary of the fact that they can run into the full buy round of Chubby Bunnies now. A while ago, it was just a bonus, but now they're going to be running into the full power that they have, and yet it will be Lychee to get the first blood on to Splash, and now he has ended up falling and really just now in a terrible spot for the side of Chubby Bunnies. It will be a Splash indeed, face plant into the waters, and now 4 versus 5, they have to change their direction. They have to change their game plan here because they don't want to lose more players. The barrier mesh blocking out Rubble. Prowler towards B side. There is a trademark that will be broken now, but Sandwich is looking to hunt Kakashi already on the off angle. Gets spotted out. It's going to be a high-low situation from the side of Trident, but not a kill found just yet. They're expending a lot of utility in the side of Trident, but Chubby Bunnies are playing this slowly instead.
Yeah, unfortunately, Splash being picked off there was quite unfortunate indeed, and Trident just being able to play and hold that fight for that A rubble space really well.
Yeah, and now looking at the angles here, Nemui needs to play onto the space, but the Fade Haunt is beautiful! And will be Sandwich to get the kill through the dark cover, and with that information now, they are going to be evening out the numbers. 4 versus 5, they are going to be playing for a full retake on the side of Trident, but mind you, they wasted a lot of Fade utility a while ago on that B side control, and now with the Haunt out, they don't have a lot of information gathering tools here on the side of Trident, and so the advantage should be on the side of Chubby Bunnies as they are looking for these off-angle plays, not wanting to give out information. Arc Rose not really blinding out anyone, but the one-way cover will be able to block out Riles, but the defuse should be available. Holding on to this angle, Chong as well, looking for the kill here on the moment, but Novi is going to be the one to find it. Kakashi as well, and with a slide on forward, Sandwich needs to look for the clutchy with the overdrive, looking for more, and it will be this Neon on the 4K for Chubby Bunnies, able to take the 2v2 as well, and with that, 4th round, 3 rounds for Chubby Bunnies.
Holy Sandwich, they're absolutely just blazing through Trident there and their retake, and Trident just being left completely undefended there against that overdrive, and Sandwich just again with an amazing 4K to win out yet another round for Chubby Bunnies. Absolutely explosive.
I have to agree. I mean, Chubby Bunnies, this is what the aggro composition they have, right? They want to be playing for this pressure. And I think Sandwich is doing a stellar job for it. A 4K D already at the moment as Splash, excuse me, gets a kill right through the dark cover onto Nemui. And now the chamber is now dead on A side. It should be an open play, but oh, JJ, you need to be careful here. On your lonesome can be, you know, pincered in this angle, but the Razor Vines should deny that push up. And now 4 versus 5. They do have rubble control still on the side of Chubby Bunny, so they do need to be wary of their lurks, of their crossfires. But now, 4 versus 5 retake. They are going to be in the save round, by the way. I forgot to mention this, but they don't really have a lot of weaponry, so they are going to be forcing this either way. With the paranoia off the back of Wilted, they are going to be looking forward with the push. Splash, getting pushed out of the angle. They do a retake heaven control, but the dark cover will make this a bit difficult. Sandwich needs to be careful of the 1 versus 2 here that they can take up here on the side of Trident Esports. And they do decide to go down towards drop. Shorty not going to be working out, and Kakashi and Noe find their picks. Splash at the very least keeping things alive for their side, but Kakashi as well taking 1 with the Sheriff. Time is ticking, so they need to escape at the moment. But Kakashi is making it costly. Sure, Chubby Bunnies will be taking this round, but with 4 players dying on the side of Chubby Bunnies, in fact 5, they do lose out on a lot of their money.
Yeah, no, that will do quite a bit of damage to Chubby Bunny's eco here. They will have to force up here to try and return some of that money back. But yeah, Trident did an excellent play there on their econ round there. Like very solid work damaging Chubby Bunny's econ.
Agreed. I mean, you gotta be wary of the fact that you are running into sheriffs, right? I mean, sure, it's a pistol, but pistols that have insane firepower on the right hands, and Kakashi definitely proving it here. Already has that Nightfall available into the next round, but okay, Nemwe with a headshot with the Marshall taking the pick on the Sandwich. 1 entry down. Haunt will be used, so they are going to be committing to this nonetheless. Splash looking for the kill, and will get body shot, but at the very least, it's going to be a 1-for-1 at the moment. Already, Steel Garden and Nightfall being committed from the side of Chubby Bunnies, but there's no one there. It's going to be a clean retake potentially here for Trident, as they no longer have the ultimates available for this. Paranoia comes down, however, Splash isn't getting the blind, but it will not be the kill nonetheless. Kakashi taking it. Trident now has the number advantage, 4 versus 3. Rifles on everyone's hands here, but they slow down. Razorvine making it a bit difficult. Seas comes on forward, but Nove with the high ground able to get the kill on to Chong, and now it's all down to JJ in the 1 versus 3. 1 versus 4 actually, in fact. Able to find 1, looking for a second as well. A third! JJ! Able to get 3 onto the side of Trident, now looking for the reposition. Now it will be the Annihilation. At the very least, Lychee will have to commit the ultimate, saving the round for Trident. But at the very least, it was costly for them, and now Trident, they are able to get the second round, but JJ, my gosh, nearly clutches it in the 1 versus 4.
That was absolutely insane. I thought for sure that JJ was going to absolutely clutch up that round, but luckily, you know, Lychee with the ultimate, you know, being able to clutch up that round for Trident. Again, it's going to be very costly though for Trident's buy here. We'll have to try and force up. Nove will be able to have the overdrive on hand, luckily. But yeah, both teams looking really low in terms of econ right now.
Yeah, I mean, they lost 5 players on the side of Chubby Bunnies, and now they're gonna be in the Sheriffs. And despite that, Sandwich is able to find 1, but the overdrive is just too much for them, as well as the convergent paths being utilized from the side of Chubby Bunnies. It won't really matter at all, as Nove is hunting for more, unable to find 1. However, JJ actually holding on to the off angle. Arc goes on the ground. It was a 4 for 2, mind you. 3 players still remaining on the side of Trident as they're holding on to rubble, the barrier mesh blocking out this angle. But there should be the spike being picked up by JJ. And now they're going to be changing directions. They don't actually know that the spike fell on a lobby.
Yeah, and that could be a crucial misread here. I mean, it is a 3v1, but JJ not really knowing what to do, slowing down here because you know, being scared of the A rubble space, and you can just see Trident just playing together, not wanting to give out any guns towards for JJ here to get.
They're just playing it really slowly, you know? They don't want to, like, risk anything. And the Vandal will be picked up at the very least for JJ. And, hey, JJ nearly clutched the 1 versus 4. There's 1 less player this time on the side of Trident in this clutch potential here. So, I will say JJ definitely has a chance going into this. But no information on this Vise. They are looking at a tough spot. He needs to be able to find out where these 3 players are. And they are playing all together. Razorvine being placed. Double placed, in fact. Should be broken. But I think they are going to be playing with the less information here. Prowler will be coming out as well, trying to get that stun off. The grab net as well going to be dodged. No, in fact, it will be caught. The Seas as well coming on forward, looking for the spray. Nearly gets it as well. At the very least, Lychee will put a stop once again. It's the deadlock, stopping any form of clutch from JJ. I think they are nemesis at this point. But Trident once again get another round on their side, and it's just gonna be a 1-round difference.
And Lychee being able to clutch up for Trident yet again. Seems like JJ and Lychee will have a little bit of rivalry on their hands throughout this TXG circuit, series in their future upcoming tournaments. But yeah, no, that was just absolutely, I mean, what an overdrive, from Nove there, being able to get the 4-for-1,
Now, I mean, honestly, it's gonna be JJ getting the first blood onto the Omen, onto Wilted, but they're gonna be flanked as well. Nove able to get the trade, and now it's gonna be the relay bot on the side. There's actually no one on A, so it's gonna be a full-on retake once again. And I think Trident, they need to be wary of the fact that they have no heaven control. They are gonna be scaling on the side of Chubby Bunnies, and they're gonna be hunting. In fact, Sandwich looking for the swing. It will be Nemui. Holding onto this angle, does spot him out, but it's gonna be double up from the side of Chubby Bunnies, and I think they're gonna be giving it up now. They have the numbers advantage, don't want to risk it. Saturate comes out as well. Hunt and Prowl is still available, and Kakashi can look for it. And now they are hunting, trying to get some info. In fact, Sandwich is able to dodge out the Prowler, but doesn't get the shot. Nove able to get the kill now on Splash. Paranoid comes out to get a little bit of a blind, and I think Riles is able to play off of it. Versus 3, Hunt coming out as well to drop the shot and step. Riles able to dodge it at the very least, looking for 1, and will be Kakashi falling as well. Nove with 1 as well, but it doesn't matter. Sandwich will be taking him down, and with that, Bunny will be getting their 5th round.
A very back and forth games that these two teams are having. Trident, I do really like how they are trying to attempt this retake against Bunny, but despite Bunny having a really aggressive team comp, you can see like they know when to show restraint, and they know how to try and play these mind games against Trident. So
yep, and now I think they're gonna be looking for the kill here. It will be Splash finding 2 with Outlaw. I mean, they don't really have armor on the side of Trident, so it is gonna be a 1-shot potential, and indeed 1-shot it is from Splash. And look at this, it will be Nemi getting pushed out of the corner. We'll have to rendezvous back onto Waterfall, but looking to aggressive potential here with the Headhunter, but it will be Nemi actually finding the kill. Riles though will be looking for the trade, and now it will be the Marshall on Nove, able to find 1 refract as well from Splash to back out, and now it will be a 1 versus 3. Kakashi getting 2! Spike hasn't been planted just yet. It's down on the ground, down in the open, and Splash with an Outlaw of his own, holding for the play, holding for a position here. And now I think it will just be a slow play. Spike on the ground, Vandal will be picked up by Splash, but I feel like Kakashi doesn't really know where Splash is playing, but that Saturate will be heard at the very least, and Spike has to be planted at this point, but Kakashi can look for the timing.
Oh yeah, unfortunately whiff on the Sheriff shot there, and does get heard by Splash there, and Splash will be able to close out the round there for Chubby Bunnies.
At this point, I do think Chubby Bunnies are playing their attack side rather well. Remember, this is going to be an attack sider map, and so it's one of the most attack sider maps, if I recall correctly. So, of course, Chubby Bunnies will be having this advantage here, especially since the fact they do have the double duelists, and they are proving it right now how they play this aggressive composition. And I think they're able to take this space fast, but Trident are able to get some beautiful trades coming out from despite having weaker weaponry. And I'm thinking, with how things are going, I think Chubby Bunnies need to be wary of how they play into this buy round from the side of Trident already. It will be Smash getting caught up by the Haunt here, looking for more. The Refract actually ends up running out as well. Wilted needs to be careful. B push is potentially here. Steel Guardian will be activated as well. Willing to back out. Nightfall's counter engage as well from Kakashi. But they're going to be pivoting towards this B side. Need to be aware of the fact that they are going to be flanked from A. Relay bot from Nove looking for a kill. Saturate doesn't land, but they haven't planted the spike just yet. And there's a convergent patch. They're looking for the kill at the very least. And now Splash will be able to find 1. And Sandwich with the follow-up as well. They know our third player is here. They do know Lychee is here, but Lychee playing it safe. They also are playing it safe. Unable to find the shots. It will be Sandwich with a second kill of his own. 5 versus 2, Nemui and Wilted looking for a pick, but it will be another one from Splash. And now it's all up to Wilted. 1 versus 5 takes 1, but I don't think it will really matter in this situation, as Riles with the Bulldog will be getting that final blood. Chubby Bunnies now 4 rounds ahead of the side of Trident. They're looking at a very strong first half.
Yeah, Chubby Bunny's looking very excellent in this half, showing a very great demonstration of how well that they can run this double duelist team comp, especially with the convergent paths. You know, not tapping just tapping Spike and trying to bait out Trident there, and just ripping off the convergent path, trying to clear out the more imminent threats for the future late game. You know.
Agreed. And I mean, honestly, you gotta really be playing for that. You know, gotta think of the long term at this point, right? And now, Chubby Bunnies playing it slow once again. They are aware that the economy probably is good for Trident, so they don't want to give up the rifles once again. But JJ, you need to be careful. You can be walked on here by Nove. In fact, they are looking for the swing, gets spotted out as well by Wilted. But JJ is just too clean with the ADS, able to get the pick onto Nove. And now I do say they are going to be hitting potentially towards the C site. The thing is, will the side of Trident be wary of this? And in fact, they are. It will be Nemu holding onto the angle, but we'll have to refract the rendezvous back onto the back side. But the Saturate is there, able to find one at the very least. And now, Sandwich. Will he be getting the trade? Kakashi, are you going to be walking through the smoke? Yes, and gets a shot nonetheless. But JJ is there to help out his team now. 2 versus 3. Guns on the ground, but they're all on C site. Lychee and Wilted only on Sheriffs, looking for a kill, looking for a pick at the very least for the overextension. But Chubby Bunnies, they're playing their side, they're playing their corners, they're playing the safe angles. And now, with numbers advantage, they're going to be playing this slowly. Haunt broken down. They need to look for a pick on the side of Trident. They need to find an opening somehow. Paranoia down towards elbow. But no one's actually playing in this corner. In fact, they're all being played down towards the entrance of C site, and Rios will be catching Lychee off guard, and a wallbang will be there as well. Bunny are up 8-3. In fact, with that, there's 1 round left remaining in this first half. Let's see if Trident can close out the gap a little bit here.
Yeah, Trident having, you know, a lot of ultimates to show for this last last round of this half. Hopefully they will be able to utilize them. You know, that, you know, you can pop the overdrive there, tour de force in hand as well, you know, and from the shadows for an easy retake with that deadlock ultimate too.
I do think, you know, you can really just utilize this for like fast rotations, force fights everywhere, and I think they are going to be doing something similar to that. The refract away from Splash allows him to get out of the seas as well. A bit of utility used from both sides, but I don't think a lot was burned. So Trident, they have a lot for potential retakes here. Haunt as well, not spotting out anyone. As now they're looking at a B site hit here, but they have to be careful. The trademark can spot them out. It can be broken, but I don't know if they want to commit into this yet here, Mal.
Yeah, and you can just see here that Nemui just holding the C mountain space with the operator. Chubby Bunny's not really sure on what to do, hearing this trademark here, but they will be able to try and take a little bit of this beam making this space looking a little bit dangerous, and Nove just getting a very lucky spray down.
Oh, that was just beautiful from the side of Trident. They're able to get that crossfire, and they didn't have mount control on the side of Chubby Bunny, so you're gonna get caught off guard here on that crossfire, right? And with the door opening, you don't have any way to contest it, and they just get massacred here. The operator finding so much value, but it's JJ alive. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just too much for Device to handle. Nove getting 3K, and now 4-8. They're at the very least able to salvage one more round in that first half. Trident, they are not down for the count just yet, as they are gonna be on the attacker side.
Yeah, no, it's looking really rough though for Trident going on to this second half. 4-8's a very tall order. Mind you, it's not impossible to come back from this, you know?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, I definitely think that, you know, with the side swap, Trident on the attacking side, they have potential here. Granted, they are double sentinel on an attack, but believe it or not, I'm a firm believer that just because you have 2 sentinels doesn't mean your attack is weak by any means. In fact, the moment you get sight, you can get that whole place on lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a reminder, this is Trident's map pick. So, you know, maybe they know something that we don't with this double sentinel pick here. But Nove will be able to pick off JJ Rouse, though. We'll be able to get the trade off.
Yeah, and they're looking to swarm here towards B side. In fact, they need to be wary that it's Riles holding onto this corner on Baby Door, but it doesn't matter. And now Nemui getting flanked here by Splash, looking for the kill, looking for the hunt, but 40 HP left remaining on the chamber, who would much rather not take the fight. And the barrier mesh is good, and Splash will at the very least get the shot down onto Nemui. Now 2 versus 3. Sandwich and Splash, they need to find this opening round if they want to have a chance here in the second half, because of course it is attacker sided after all. They don't want to give up any rounds here on defense, but it's going to be a tough one as they open the door here. Looking for this play. It will be wilted on low HP, 21 HP. In fact, can end up falling, but it's going to be a crossfire at the very least from the side of Trident, but it ends up falling. 1 versus 2 Sandwich looking for the clutch up, but 15 HP left remaining. This is looking undoable this time from this Neon. Gravity Net not landing, but Sandwich gets the headshot. Close range firing, can look for the clutch up, but the Deadlock is running away, not wanting to take the fight because Spike is ticking. They're running out of time, and Sandwich can no longer take this round. He's going to be saying bye-bye here on the first round of the pistol.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, amazing play there by Lychee. Just playing for time, knowing that they don't need to interact at all and just wait for that Spike to take down those precious moments. And I mean, Lychee though, being a very big clutch god for Trident here in these rounds that we've been seeing.
Yeah, I think Lychee is honestly... the thing is, Lychee's stats don't reflect how good he's actually playing. In fact, Lychee is really just playing for the round wins, not playing for the kills. It's not actually greed that's controlling him. It's really playing for the win. There's more to it than getting kills, and that's exactly what's happening. And speaking of kills, Nemwe ends up falling here to Sandwich, a triple stack up on the high-low down towards stairs. And now Riles will be able to pick up a weapon of his own as well, a Marshall of his own, but needs to be careful to jump up as well down towards Rubble. Looks like Trident looking to contest it. There is a dark cover making it a tad bit difficult, but they're looking for the swing. Sandwich looking for the kill, but Nove goes for the slide down with the Bulldog. Low HP left remaining, however, on Wilted. Needs to be careful, but Riles gets a shot to the wall, getting 2, and Splash as well, finding one of his own, ends up whiffing a little bit towards the last player. Lychee finding 1 as well, finding 2 in fact. Looking for the kill. 8 bullets left remaining on the Spectre. Will have to reload, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a round for Chubby Bunnies as Chong found his way down towards that off angle, and despite Pistol going to Trident, Chubby Bunnies will be taking the anti-eco.
Yeah, no, Chubby Bunnies did like a fantastic, save on that anti-eco there. And being able to really Riles being able to get those very clean martial shots. And even though Trident did win there, there's a lot of econ, there's a lot of money going over towards Chubby Bunny right now for this round. And they look like they will just be heading over towards doing some exploration for Mound and a hard rush on towards B.
Oh, Sandwich, you want to be careful of this. As you mentioned, it's a hard rush towards B. Riles is just going for the jiggle peek. They're going to be running into Sandwich, but Sandwich doesn't land the shots. However, the Paranoia and Relay Bolt is there to support, but the Seas will be able to catch him with the grab net. And now he needs to be careful. He's getting slid on by 3 players, but he's able to find 2. In fact, no, Riles is the one that finds the second, and now Nove takes on the Neon, but now it's Spike on the ground, dark cover and Seas to block out the retake, and now Trident, they need to get some information towards C, try to get some space, but they're unable to do so. JJ has it on lockdown, door being opened up, but 30 HP left remaining. It will be Chong falling, and now 3 versus 3. Things slow down just a tad bit, but with the door opening once again, Riles needs to be careful of the flank. The pincer maneuver is available for their side, but JJ holding on to the cross, dark cover making it a bit difficult, but they are going to be supporting each other. I love the setup from Chubby Bunnies. They are aware of this potential play. JJ and Riles are able to cover it on the angles at the very least, and now 2 versus 2. Pistols only on the side of Trident, and that is their weakness. Nove, however, is able to clutch it. I didn't even notice he killed Splash.
Wait, Nove just absolutely sneaking up there and managing to pick off Splash there, and then Riles just being completely caught off guard, making sure that that Trident won that round though. Excellent play by Nove. Just playing for time there.
I mean, I gotta say, it's our jobs to like catch these things, but I didn't even notice Nove got the kill into Splash. I was like, oh, it's a 1 versus 1. Hold on a second, both of them are dead. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like, it looked so good for Chubby Bunnies, but just no,
it's not looking good for Chubby Bunnies as well now. So, I mean, it was the rifle down on the side of Chubby Bunnies, but they're able to reclaim it onto Sandwich. But their whole execution towards mount control ends up falling apart here. In fact, Splash ends up falling right off that off angle, that high ground. And now Chubby Bunnies, they don't want to be contesting mount anymore, but Trident are very much wary of the fact that they can be playing for it nonetheless.
Yeah, and you can see that they're just playing slow here, not really wanting to give off any information. Color will signify that. Oh my
gosh. I don't know if that was the play that you want to be going for on the side of Chubby Bunnies. In fact, a little bit of an overstep, a little bit of an overslide. I mean, it is Neon after all, but now it's all up to Riles and JJ looking for the 2v5. Looking for the shrouded step down towards the dark cover. Will be able to get the shot of the Bucky, in fact, taking down Nove, but it will be the spray through the smoke. Not a lot of space to be moving around here, so it will be an easy kill. Grabnet will land on the JJ. Needs to be careful of the spray off as well. Haunt bounces off right off his body, and now Sheriff in hand. Looking for a kill. Doesn't really have too much information here. Playing for the high ground. Only a Sheriff in hand. We'll get a little bit of a showing off Lychee's head, but doesn't really matter here. 1 versus 4. I mean, not a lot of opportunities for this. But JJ, we've seen you nearly clutch up 1 versus 4 as 1 versus 3. But it's too much of a crossfire, too much of an ask, I will say, in this angle. So the crossfire makes this a bit too impossible, as Wilted will be the one to finish him off. And now 7-9. I think Trident did break the back and forth here in the second half. 2 in a row for them. 2 rounds down only, and they are going to be looking to close this gap.
Yeah, Chubby Bunnies, I'm not too sure as to like what was Sandwich and Jong doing there. You know, being so caught up. I mean, sliding right into the middle of C Mound, right into the open of C Mound. Right, you knew your opponents were right there. I was just flabbergasted.
My gosh. Well, now Fastlane coming out. It's going to be an A-rubble contested. Grabnet is going to the Sandwich, however, and able to get the kill through the fast lane. In fact, Sandwich ends up falling, but at the very least, it's going to be a 1-for-1. Chong is able to find the kill, but the Annihilation will be broken as well. And now, Chong looking to hunt, finding 2, looking for a 3rd! And now it's all down to Nemui and Wilted looking for more. However, the Shrouded step down towards Rubble, 30 HP on the Omen. Nemui unable to support his teammate. They did hear the TP at the very least, but they're unaware if it's a fake out. Repositioning on forward. JJ gets caught off guard, able to get the dink, but it's a Phantom unable to find the kill, and now with the Stitcher trying to look for 1, but Nemui is already able to support his teammate. It's all down to Chong with the 3K. May have to look for the ace to clutch out this round. But now, Spike reclaimed. They know Chong is playing in this angle, and now they are going to be going down towards C-side, but Chong definitely aware of this, looking to go and rotate towards the C-side.
Yeah, 10 HP and a dream. Will Zhong be able to clutch this up for Chubby Bunnies? We're just gonna have to see here.
Now, it doesn't really matter, honestly. At the end of the day, Chong gave it their all on that 3-piece, but with 2 little HP left remaining, not much you can be doing there. And again, Trident, another round on the board for them. It's gonna be a really, really broken buy from the side of Chubby Bunnies. They don't have a lot to work with, so I'm wondering if they can, at the very least, put a stop to the bleeding and put themselves to double digits.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they will be able to. I mean, they had such a decisive first half, so you know, maybe, I mean, they're looking a little bit rougher towards this defensive half, Chubby Bunnies here.
Yeah, I mean, again, Trident, attacker side, sorry, is very much favorable in these angles, so I'm wondering if Chubby Bunnies can try to take advantage of the fact that this is a big map. You want to scale up, and look at this, they are scaling up Mound. They're putting pressure on the map. In fact, Lychee can be caught off guard here if Sandwich can find the opening kill. But they are playing it rather safe. It's only 1 player, that is JJ, holding on to A side with the lockdown. And now Lychee getting swarmed here. In fact, Sandwich will be able to get the pick, taking down the deadlock. But now it should be the scale up. There is a sheer blocking the angle with the Razor Vine as well to stall out the push. And they are going to be executing towards this angle potentially here with the door being open with the Nightfall as well. Now, free A side for the taking, but it will be pretty slow for them. In fact, they're burning a lot of time. And I think Chubby Bunnies should be able to get a pretty good retake in this angle.
Yeah, I mean, you have the Overdrive and Convergent Paths ready for Chubby Bunnies to retake, and as you can see here, they're bundling up towards the CT space, ready to do this retake.
And there it is, the Convergent Path, as he mentioned, with the Saturate as well to secure it, and now it will be kill for that splash, and now 8-9 in the rounds. Let's see if Chubby Bunnies can secure a round here, but it doesn't matter with the ultimates. It's all down to Sandwich. They end up falling all to Wilted. 1 versus 3. Sandwich, you need to make a clutch play here, but you have no information on where he is now. Low on HP as well. Needs to look for the swing, but the crossfire is just a bit too difficult. Kakashi falls, but it's just gonna be a swing off each other. They're playing it safe here. The side on forward, and no, Wilted will be the one to find the kill, and now they are tied up 9-9. It just feels like Trident know exactly how they want to play this map. After all, they did pick it.
Indeed. And just a very big unfortunate, the timing there. I think that might be Chubby Bunnies, yeah, calling the time out, wondering, what possibly could have, like, gone wrong there. I mean, the Convergent Paths hit its shot, but unfortunately wasn't able to hit the players under Hell, I believe, on towards that A site space. And Sandwich, unfortunately, I popped popped the overdrive, but wasn't able to land their shots or get the frags needed for it with it. So maybe they will hopefully try scaling up a mound and see a rubble and see mount, as you can see here with the map pings. Hopefully to try and play a little bit more aggressive.
I do think they are going to be wanting to play a bit more aggressive, and I think that's the only way you can really be playing Lotus at this point. But the problem is, I feel like they're just giving up a lot of space majority of the time, and when they do end up pushing one angle, they lose so much on the other, and which is fine. Don't get me wrong; you can play the numbers advantage here. The problem is that they end up losing a lot of advantageous spots whenever they look to aggress on forward, and now I feel like they're worried about pushing up, so they're gonna play it a bit defensively here. But are you giving up rubble for free? I think not. Sandwich will be playing this operator in this angle, looking for the first blood onto Nemwe. Let's see if he can pick it off. Oh, Nemwe.
Yeah.
Just deciding not to take it, aware that this could be potential pressure from the side of Chubby Bunnies. So we'll be playing the safer angle here, and Sandwich will just have this A main, this A rubble control at the very least now, but they are going to be walking up. You need to be careful. You are going to force the jump peek potentially, but now the shot doesn't land, but all the way on the other side, actually, in fact, it will be Chong to find the kill on Kakashi all the way down towards center area, on the way on mid, on B site. So it will be a 1-0. And now they kind of split here on the side of Trident. In fact, I feel like their aggressive play has completely disappeared now. And with one player lacking, they don't have an ability to get information here, Mal. Let's see what they decide to do with one player down.
Yeah, no, it's quite unfortunate. Kakashi, unfortunately, being picked off there, not being, and for the side of Trident, not being able to get any sort of information or try and get it at all. And they're just kind of stuck here, unfortunately. And with Chubby Bunnies holding this defensively really well, Seas will be able to go down, will catch out Nove here.
Yeah, Nove will have to look for the hunt here, it seems. I mean, does have the ultimate available, the overdrive, but the barrier mesh will be blocking out Heaven, so it will be a slow play. But Splash, trying to look for the flank, ends up falling instead. Nove low on HP as well, so they do have a chance here to go for the kills as JJ scaling up towards B main with the Prowler. Needs to be careful that there is one player down towards Baby Door. In fact, there's two people holding it, and Nove will be able to get the kill. Classic only in the hands of Sandwich, will not be able to find a kill, and now they end up falling off the timeout. Riles, 1 versus 4, they are unable to convert here. Riles, 18 and 12. Can you scale up your number to 22? Unlikely, as the dark cover makes this difficult. No more paranoia available. They know he's playing towards this angle. Needs to look for the pick, but the operator just makes it too difficult. Trident, despite the timeout from Chubby Bunnies, will be taking the round, and they are the first to reach 10.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Chubby Bunnies here losing all this momentum over towards Trident and not really being able to pick it back up for what it seems. And it's just really rough now that Econ is yet again really, really rough to look at. And you have Trident in such a really good Econ situation here. I mean, look, they have all the money in the world.
Oh man, I mean, they are sitting comfortably, that's for sure, in their mansion. But job's not done just yet, so they need to make sure they can close out this game first of all. Chubby Bunnies are definitely not down for the count just yet, especially since they are going to be on those sheriffs, on that Guardian, so they do have the fight potential, I will say. And now, they are going to be scaling down towards A, or B actually, in fact, sorry, yes. Prowler will be going down towards mid. In fact, Nemwe hears it. Up is actually in the hands of Nove. I think they're going to be wanting to split this up here or drop it down, but the door gets open and Riles gets caught off guard, unable to get the shot and step away, and now, one down, the smoker down, in fact, so they lose so much control here as now Sandwich looking for the kill, and yet Nemwe is ready for it. The crosshair placement is gorgeous from the sorry, not the chamber. There's no Yoro at all here. As now 5 versus 3, I think Trident definitely going to be looking for the push up towards C-side.
Yeah, you can see though that JJ does have the read here, calling out for some assistance from the rest of his teammates.
Boy, Looking for the TP on forward already. Wilted, that's the high ground. It's JJ holding on to C with the kill. Able to find one. Kakashi, however, gets killed down towards Chong. And now he ends up falling as well. 1 versus 3. Splash has to refract away. Low on HP. Nemui with the operator. Splash opening the door. Looking for the kill. Operator shot doesn't land. Now gets hit by the grav net as well. Doesn't really have much to work with here as the refract actually doesn't really get much out of it. In fact, Wilton will be the one to find the kill. A 3-piece for the Omen, and now 2 rounds away from winning out map number 1. Trident are looking to close this out confidently on the second half.
Yeah, no, the timing there, unfortunately, by Splash with the refract there, with the door closing, it just wasn't enough time to be able to, you know, to stall out the time and, you know, remove that grab net. Unfortunately, and now Trident sitting very comfortably. Bunny will be trying to look towards a win here, and yet again we're seeing yet another C-mount push here from the side of Trident.
Indeed, I think they are wanting to play a bit faster this time. They've been playing rather carefully these past few rounds, but now they're changing up the pace here, switching up the momentum, and I think that is a pretty smart angle for them as now. They just need to be careful of this Vice. JJ has been having a pretty good game after all, but has slowed down, funnily enough, on the defense side. You'd expect Sentinels to do better on that angle, but has been struggling quite a bit. And now, feels like Trident are looking to back away. They don't want to force this. In fact, they are just baiting out rotations here.
You can see here, Namui just being able to try and get a pick with this pixel angle here, but we'll be looking over towards rotate over towards this A site, but will they be able to catch off Splash? And yes, they will, likely getting a solid hit there, and will be be able to try and take this A site for free. Sandwich though will be able to get a pick off Lychee. So
beautiful pick as well from Sandwich, and now that kind of slows down the play. In fact, they're going to be pivoting down towards B side. Really about to block out B main. They now are aware of Sandwich position, so they're going to be looking for the kill, and Nove will be able to find the crossfire as well. And now it will be Trident moving down towards B side. Steel Garden will be activated by JJ. However, the shorty should be deadly in close range, and in fact, Wilted will be able to find the kill onto the Vice. 2 versus 4. Riles, Chong looking for the kill. Nemui ends up falling to the smoke, looking for more with the Phantom. However, a double swing comes on forward from the side of Trident. A beautiful showcase of chemistry here as they are now on match point.
Just an absolutely amazing work there from Trident, being able to work off each other, and despite that Steel Garden being put to use there by Chubby Bunnies for that retake, unfortunately it just wasn't enough, and Wilted was able to land such a nasty shorty kill on towards that push onto JJ.
Oh man, I feel like that was a little bit of a misstep here. Beautiful play actually from the side of Trident, especially Wilted with a shorty kill, the Steel Garden making it difficult, and yet they're able to make it work. As now they are going to be scaling up down towards Rubble, but the shots aren't landing. At the very least, it's a 1-for-1, and they're looking for more. Splash, unable to find a second, and now the Annihilation will be catching Chong, I believe. And now 3 versus 4. They can't look to back away here. They are aware of that baby door is broken, but Trident sitting comfortably down towards Rubble, they know they can pivot anywhere they want. It's now slowing down the pace, cutting noise. They know they can play the information game here. They know not everyone's shown, and Mal, I do think Trident are just gonna try and bait out Splash here.
Yeah, no, I mean, Splash already being so heavily tagged, 46 HP, can only really play towards this backside here for the retake. I mean, they have the convergent paths available and ready, but unfortunately, I don't think that all might be used.
Oh boy, from the shadows as well, from Riles, they're going to be looking to converging together as well, as a convergent path, as you mentioned, is available, and it will be utilized off the util coming out as well. But Nove finds 2 onto Riles, and Splash catching them off guard from the left side on their area, and now it's all down to JJ with a Bulldog. Mal, dare I say, if JJ clutches this out in the 1 versus 4, Bunny are looking at a potential comeback, but I don't think it's going to be the case here. Operator shot not landing. JJ has to find 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What more can he do here? Looking for the pick, looking for the shot. The operator shot doesn't land. Overdrive as well available, but it does not matter. Lychee finds the final blood, taking that comeback here on map number 1. Trident will take it 13-9.
What an amazing back and forth game that was. You would think for sure with how it was looking for Chubby Bunnies that they'd be able to try and take those that second half a lot better. But with how Trident like just absolutely showed their prowess there, they just know what to do on an attack, and that was absolutely an incredible performance from them.
Yeah, I gotta say, Trident, I mean, this is their map pick after all, so they were definitely confident when they played on the more advantageous side, and that is definitely what they showcased here, as you mentioned, right? The confidence and the plays coming out, especially from Nove, who had a stellar game, by the way, playing off of so much utility and just quite literally pushing every single advantage they took. Every single time they found an opening, Nove just took that angle, taking the victory for Trident Esports away from Chubby Bunnies. And wow, I gotta admit, 29-15 on an entry duelist is definitely impressive. Nearly a 2 KD and a 13-9 game already showcases the strength he has on this Neon.
Yeah, you can see their 40.5% headshot rate, looking very impressive indeed. Absolutely crazy work, you know. And as I said before, like a Neon player, you know, like for your duelist, for your entry duelist, like that those stats go for, like, you know, show that, you know, that Nove is the man on the job, you know, for entry duelists.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Nove, it just had a clean game so far. Let's see if we can have a clean series, though, because the series is not over just yet, right? This is a best of 3 after all, and that was Trident's map pick, so they definitely had an advantage going into that. And again, they really showed their dominance there on the attacking side. You know, for a little bit of a stat, some information for the viewers and for everyone here. You know, Lotus, you know, heavily attacker side, 57% win rate on the attacker side. And I gotta say, yes, it's advantageous for them, but hey, if it's advantageous for them, it should have been as well for the side of Chubby Bunnies. But I felt like Trident definitely had a bit more of a game plan going into that map number 1, and they really proved it that they are comfortable on a map like Lotus. So who knows, if we ever make it to map number 3, you know, maybe they'll showcase something similar, since both maps are 3-side maps after all.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Trident there, just being able to, you know, get the call out really well, you know, the reads as well on towards that Lotus site against Chubby Bunnies, you know, being able to read the opponents really well there was, you know, I think is what put them over the edge on top of Chubby Bunnies for now.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's all about taking advantage of whatever, you know, well, angle you see or what opening you can see, right? So I think Trident Esports, they started to feel that aggressiveness. They started to feel that confidence going into that second half, despite being down 4 rounds. And I always say 4 rounds is not that big. In fact, I wouldn't even consider a 10-2 impossible for anyone, really. I mean, we've seen in VCT and tier 1 teams that are games that any comeback is possible. And so Trident Esports, being down 4 rounds, they are able to take that map number 1 on a stellar comeback with, mind you, by the way, I believe Chubby Bunnies only won 1 round on that second half. So a dominant showcase from Trident Esports on map number 1, their map pick. But like I said, Mal, this is game 1. Best of 3. We still have game number 2 here. Let's see if Chubby Bunnies can make up for that game number 1 and bring us to game number 3. But before that, we are going to be going in a quick little break, guys. I'm your caster Abyss, and joined with me is Malachi, and we'll be back real soon.
See you later.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back.
Hello and welcome back everyone to the TXG Valorant circuit. We are back once again for the best of 3 series between Trident Esports versus Chubby Bunnies. Once again, I'm your caster for today, Abyss, and joined with me is the one and only Malachi, and we are here to bring you the action here for game number 2 because Trident Esports took that map 1 pretty convincingly in the second half, dare I say, Mal.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely insane combat from Trident Esports. You know, that game going into like 8-4 towards Chubby Bunnies there, but Trident Esports managed to bring it back up and secure that win against Chubby Bunnies, and that was just an absolute amazing comeback from Trident Esports. I mean, as we can look from the previous rounds, previous map stats, you know, Nove absolutely killing it on the Neon, nearly going for a 2 KD there. But like, yeah, like everyone from Trident Esports looked very solid throughout that game.
Yeah, I gotta say there were so many beautiful moments coming out from Trident Esports, but Chubby Bunnies also had a lot of good moments as well, so I can't deny the fact that they are a competitive team here in this series. And Trident Esports, they are playing on their home ground on map number 1. Specifically, that was their map pick, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So Chubby Bunnies should be going into map number 2 with somewhat of an advantage since they are going to be having that game plan that they have in store for the side of Trident. So I won't count them out just yet because now they have this map advantage, and I think they can showcase a bit more from their side as compared to that Lotus game, and they did do a good job on Lotus on that first half, mind you, so I wouldn't expect anything less going into map number 2.
Yeah, and what we have for map number 2, we're gonna be experiencing Breeze. We're gonna be experiencing Breeze, which is gonna be very fun and exciting. You know, I can't wait to see a lot of the mid space being taken up and having a lot of aggression, hopefully towards the like A and B mains, you know.
You know, it's funny when the moment you said like you can't wait and stuff, I couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or not. I won't lie, because people historically, no, I'm joking about it, but people historically dislike the Breeze a lot, and so did I. I was one of the people that really disliked Breeze, but ever since the map changes, ever since the Breeze ended up changing in terms of meta, and we're seeing a lot more interesting compositions like with Sage, Neon. You know, you still have your Vipers occasionally, but now you have Harbors, even Omens as well in certain occasions, right? There's a lot more flexibility now for different like executions, and I think that's what makes Breeze a lot more fun now. And in fact, I am kind of a Breeze fan now. I can't say anything about that. I know some people still don't like the map, but personally, I'm starting to like it a lot more, and that's probably why Chubby Bunnies are playing it or picked it, because they like it as well. And so let's see how they actually make to comprise their agent pool, or their agent composition here in this map number 2, because I'm sure they are cooking something up here in the agent select.
Yeah, no, hopefully, I mean, look, as a Viper main, oh my god, the love is the love is, I see the agent select and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look, Viper has recently gotten back into the meta with Breeze, especially by playing with this double smoke team comp, which I've been very much enjoying so far. And as you can see, I mean, there's no need for Sentinels on Breeze. It's just such a big map. You'd waste so much utility by trying to cover up every spot and trying to clear out every angle, you know. And with the smokes, with double smokes, you're just able to clear out and section off more of the sites more often, especially with playing double duelist as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, right, for that Viper Harbor over like a traditional Sentinel on a map like Breeze. And so I'm not surprised that neither team actually picks up a Sentinel in this case. In fact, they're going for that double duelist, double controller setup, with, of course, Sova being that info gatherer. Of course, personally, I'm a fan of like a secondary, like a flasher on the team. Neither team are doing flashes, unless, of course, you count the Storm Surge of Harbor, which kind of blinds you technically. But at the same time, I feel like with this double duelist setup that both teams are running, they have a lot of potential to really escape some of these wide angles. In fact, the Operator is a very powerful weapon on Breeze. So the fact that you're running something like ISO, right, which basically counteracts sniper rifles, or you have the Waylay Neon, which can completely block out certain angles, right, with the utility, with the fast execution, right? So I think both teams definitely have opportunities to avoid the weaknesses they have on either attack or defense. And I think defense is where the teams might struggle here, in my opinion. I feel like defense is where people might struggle a little bit here on Breeze, because attack can definitely get a little bit chaotic once the execution starts.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you there. I mean, defense is just such a back and forth. It really depends on how they will be able to use their util to really either hold down the site or be able to retake it. And you know, it's all it's pretty much all or nothing for Chubby Bunnies here, you know, being their either the last map potentially for this series. So hopefully, you know, we will be able to see them lock in a little bit more, or they'll be swept up by Trident Esports here for this series tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And mind you guys, this is, as mentioned, right, the lower bracket here of Group B. Trident Esports versus Chubby Bunnies. If they, whichever team loses here in this best of 3 will be completely out of the circuit. And of course, the winner will be moving forward in the lower bracket to fight out against Bao's Little Buns of their own best of 3. And whoever wins there will be making it towards playoffs as the second seed of Group B. So, of course, a lot is riding on the fact that this series can make or break your run in this tournament. So I'm looking forward to what these teams have to offer here on map number 2, because I'm sure they are starting to feel the pressure here in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we will be starting off right now, you know, lovely Breeze. I mean, we love as a Viper main, you know, I used to play a lot of Viper on here. Although, given the fact that, you know, it was during Bronze days, but looks like we will just be having Chubby Bunnies here on this fast take on towards this B side.
Yeah, and it will look like for this entry coming on forward, the Neon and Waylay leading the charge as well. But however, it will be the ISO to be able to find a kill first. In fact, 2 already for the side of Trident. However, it will be Splash trading it out on the Waylay once again on this map 2, as now Spike will be planted, but it's a double flank coming out from the side of Trident, looking for the kill onto JJ, and he ends up falling as well. Sheriff shot does land as well onto Chong. They need to be careful of this pincer here down towards mid. No longer having the smoke. In fact, Lychee playing this so patiently, waiting for the pincer play coming out from the side of Trident, as now they're looking to execute on forward. In fact, it's now down to 2 versus 2, as Splash as well finds the flank. Now with a 3K, it will be Lychee, however, to get and secure the pistol for Trident Esports. A little bit messy here on B side, yet they're able to clutch it out nonetheless here. And Trident looking good at the very first round of this map number 2.
Yeah, yet again, it's Lychee back at it again with those very nice clutches for Trident here. And I really did enjoy how Nove tried to flank up immediately against Chubby Bunny and taking that elbow space and securing it. You know, so that Trident don't have to, the rest of the Trident players don't have to worry about any potential flankers here. And we can see Chubby Bunny's forcing up here. Sting is in hand, and looks like Lychee might have to face a very difficult push here.
I mean, is this really worth it though, the forced stingers here? Of course, at the very least, it should be an open map here, as Lychee will be forced out of the B side, and it should be a retake position for the side of Trident. They don't have a defensive retake wall, however. As now, Cove comes on forward, blocking out this crossfire, blocking out this potential to hold on to backside. In fact, now Trident are wary of the fact that they can be playing towards elbow, but none of them, are playing on elbow on the side of Chubby Bunnies, as they are going to be playing completely towards side here with side elbow instead in control. And now, undercut coming on forward, so with the Storm Surge, they are able to back away at the very least. And now, the retake is at hand. They are going to be hiding inside the Cove. It'll be broken down here, and now it will be sandwiched to find the first blood. Low on HP, however. The Toxic Wall making it so difficult for the side of Trident to scale up here, as now, Regen Shield available on the Neon, looking for the kill. However, it'll be Lychee to find one. They're going to be traded out nonetheless. And now JJ and Jong on the 2 versus 2. And now it's all down to the 1 versus 1, in fact. But the Spike is running out of time here. And there it is. Chubby Bunnies will be able to secure the anti-eco on a force buy, tying up the game 1-1.
Honestly, amazing force buy there from Bunny. I mean, look, the Stinger Rush, you know, it's a very 50-50 thing, but they really made it work, pushing on towards that B site. And now the Econ will be looking really, really damaged here towards for Trident Esports.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit dangerous from the side of Trident Esports to lose a round such as that. But of course, the only good, like the silver lining here is that Chubby Bunnies did force, so they aren't on the strongest weaponry that they could have had on a bonus. But still, the pressure is on for the side of Trident in this round, as they're going to be only on Sheriffs and a Marshall on Nove, as they're actually pushing on forward with the Really Bolt coming out as well to get the stun. It actually stuns out 2 players on the side of Trident. And now they need to be careful with the door control as well. It's looking like Chong is hunting with Guardian. Unable to land the shots, Nove. Marshall at hand can look for the kill on the sandwich, but both teams a little bit aggressive on the play now, looking to play defensive. In fact, it will be Wilted getting tagged out by that drone. Shouldn't really matter too much. 32 HP left remaining on the Harbor. And now, okay, Chong actually finds the kill onto Nemwe, whose double tap actually ended up running out as well. And with the information they have that 2 players are down towards mid, they are going to be looking to scale up towards A side, potentially looking for this A side control. But of course, Chong doesn't have a lot of utility left to get that information, but they are looking for this site execution nonetheless. In fact, the Cove comes out as well. Sheriff will be picked up as well by Wilted. They're looking to push on forward, but they're trying to find the timing at the very least. It will be the shotguns coming out from Kakashi as well, but the spike will be planted here at the very least. And now, yellow control. Nove on the high ground can look for a timing on the sandwich. However, just scaling up here. They may be caught unaware here on the side of Trident as the high tide ends up falling down, but the Cove ends up blocking the angle. JJ able to find one. In fact, the Guardian shots are landing. Nove gets a kill with the Marshall shot, and yet it does not matter. An outlaw kill to finish them off. Chubby Bunnies will be getting the 3rd round. Little bit, I don't know, not really the cleanest round for them, but they take it either way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was looking very messy, especially for that mid fight as well, you know. But and Namui just being picked off there was very, very rough, unfortunately, and being that was able to let Chubby Bunnies scale up towards that A site and get the plant down.
Yeah, I feel like there was a really good angle for the side of Trident there, but Chubby Bunnies was just able to scale up perfectly. But now they need to be careful. This one-way Cove does make it a bit difficult. They spot out 2. The Storm Surge is pretty good here. Actually doesn't end up landing, but Sandwich is still able to get a kill with that high gear at the very least. And the Really Bolt comes out as well. 2 for 1 now. Wilted able to find a pick, and Kakashi as well finding one of his own, looking for more, hunting for more. But I think the side of Chubby Bunnies will be backing away. Not a lot of map space though, so they don't have much information to work with. As now, I think they're looking for an AV hit here.
Yeah, and we can see that they try to fake out rotating back from A here, but they just looking to try and get a pick. Wilted here, trying to take control of this A main space, trying to hold it in.
Oh, this is kind of scary, honestly, for Trident. I feel like they can be caught unawares here. They're looking down towards mid, but in fact, it's going to be an A main push. JJ looking to clear out the corners here. This should be a side execution, but now both players are looking towards this angle. The recon dart actually... Oh no, this actually kind of baits out Wilted here, no? If he can find a pick, however, it will be huge, but the recon dart comes out as well with the light speed, trying to push on forward, stuck in the corner, but at the very least, there's support from Kakashi as well. The tag should this make this a bit difficult, so, but despite that, Trident able to find 2 picks. It's all down to Chong in the 1 versus 2, 30 HP left remaining with the Guardian. High ground play coming on forward, but he ends up falling. 1 versus 1, not a lot of time. Lychee holding off to the off angle on this side. It's all up to the Guardian shot to land, but Lychee doesn't find it. Snakebite comes on forward as well. Spike needs to be planted, but looking for the backside control. Lychee is ready and will be able to tie up the game 2-2.
Yeah, excellent crossfire there made by Wilton and Kakashi there, being able to play off each other there, and then Lychee being able to clean up the match yet again for Trident. Being able to see
Lychee, no?
Yeah, like Lychee was like, it just keeps clutching up these rounds, and it's just like absolutely amazing.
I feel like Lychee is like, kind of like the clutch player of the side of Trident. At least that's what I'm noticing quite a bit here. I think it was also Lychee on the deadlock last game, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah,
He was clutching out a lot of rounds. So Lychee really is that player you want to be last alive here. As now, speaking of alive, I don't know if Wilton will be alive for much longer, as they are really forcing the issue, and he'll end up falling. Vandal now picked up as well by Splash. They're looking to take this round already. Convergent paths down towards yellow control. They're looking to back away on the side of Trident. Hunter Sphere coming out as well to try to find a pick, and will be tagged as well, looking for the kill. Unable to find a kill thus far, however. The high tide as well blocking out bridge, and now they're looking to scale up. They need to be careful on the side of Trident, as they are down 1 player, but not a lot of weaponry also on the side of Chubby Bunnies. JJ only on the Sheriff, but they're able to control this site nonetheless. Nove needs to be careful, as now they're going to be scaling on forward. The Cove already being activated. However, Nemui was able to find a kill, but now Splash looking for the aggressive position. The Reckoning coming out forward as well from Chubby Bunnies. They are trying to hold on to this front side, this back side, not this really, actually the defender spawn area. What am I talking about? As Nove finds 1 or 3K already for Splash. Looking for the kill, looking for the hunt, knows that 1 is mid, knows that 1 is on yellow, looking for the shot, and it will be the shot landing. At the very least, gets traded out, but it's all down to Nemui, who can't get it out in the crossfire, and with that, Chubby Bunnies get a 3rd round.
Yeah, very big unfortunate, very unfortunate for Wilted there, being absolutely bombarded by Chubby Bunny players, you know.
Yeah.
Being executed on towards that A side. Very fast execute from Chubby Bunnies. I really like how they played aggressive there, and just immediately just decided to take towards the A main space. They really just they weren't having it.
They were really not having it. They were sick and tired of all the fights Trident were doing, and we were like, you know what? We're gonna just dump everything on 1 player and just secure the round that way. We're gonna take out one of your better players, and that was Wilted, sadly, who was one of the controllers. So losing one half of your controllers definitely puts a dent in your control on the defense side. But now, speaking of control, both Bunny and Trident are trying to take space down towards mid. Kakashi, aware that someone may have walked up here. Sandwich, you know, trying to cover on this angle. Kakashi going on the off angle as well, but only a classic in hand. Ended up falling. Nove didn't even realize that has the Blade Storm out as well. And look for a cross, but I think Chubby Bunnies are aware of this and are choosing to change directions here.
Yeah, and you can see that they will just be pivoting over towards this B site here, being held by a very diligent cross by Lychee and Nemui.
I think there's a pretty good angle for the side of Chubby Bunnies, in my opinion. Yes, it's a crossfire, but like it's a weak crossfire given the guns. But they do end up getting hurt here by dropping out of windows. So now it's all up to the shots of Lychee and Nemui, who are only on pistols. As the readable comes out, the fast lane makes it a bit difficult, but they can't find the timing at the very least. Light speed on forward as well. It will be Nemui to find 1. However, gets traded out. Nove as well, finding a kill with the Blade Storm down towards side and looking for more, looking for another kill. But Sandwich ends up falling at the very end. It's all down to Chong. Vandal at hand, classics only on Kakashi. And gets tagged out, gets hidden in the Cove, but it doesn't matter. The recon dart was beautiful from Kakashi, and with that, despite it being a thrifty, despite it being a save, Trident will be able to secure the round.
Yeah, no, the you said that the crossfire there from both Lychee and Nomui there was quite weak. But unfortunately, I believe the Sandwich's fast lane actually gave them the advantage that they needed to not be able to clear out immediately after entering that the Viper's orb there.
Yeah, I think honestly at this point, I think Trident is looking well. Both teams are looking pretty comfortable, and not really comfortable. That's not the word I was looking for. Both teams are looking a little bit like messy in these kind of situations here. So Reckoning comes out like it's not like a clean round every single time, but now it's a 1-for-1 here. I think Chubby Bunnies are definitely trying to change things up here with the control they're having. In fact, Trident are actually running straight into their crosshairs. Speaking of chaotic, I feel like Trident overforced with the Reckoning. In fact, running into the close weaponry, the close quarter weaponry that Chubby Bunnies had. And now it's all down to Lychee holding down towards his mid angle. Sure, they don't have mid control on the side of Bunny, but I feel like Lychee shouldn't be able to find much value here. Maybe spotted out. In fact, we'll be able to find one, looking for a second as well, but unable to find a shot. Needs to be careful of the close range area as the Snakebite will be thrown out. Looking for a pick, looking for the 1v1s. They are available. Lychee going towards backside. Riles actually not watching the right angle, right in the open. Spike will be planted, but the 1v1s are being given. But despite that, the shots could not be landed from Lychee. No longer the clutch player in this round, as it's just a back and forth game here, Mal.
Yeah, unfortunately, not being able to land their shots on Splash, and Chubby Bunny will be able to secure another round for themselves, leading the score 3-4. This back and forth is crazy. You can absolutely see how both teams are trying to combat and read each other, and it's honestly like really well done. I mean, Wilted's Reckoning there trying to go really aggressive, but unfortunately, it just wasn't able to work out for them.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a bit of an overforce from the side of Trident. They tried to go for the play here, but let's see if nope. I didn't even get to finish my sentence. A Splash will be able to go straight through the harbor and get the kill. Double tap was also broken down on Nemui, and we'll have to back away. Only on a Sheriff, but nobody does have the operator having mid on lockdown, but it doesn't really matter because Chubby Bunnies, actually it may matter here because they're changing things up. Again, no map space, so they could potentially look for the rehit, but they may go right into Nove, who is holding on to mid, and yet Nove actually gives up the angle. In fact, Lychee holding on to this weird position here. Can look for a pick, but it's only a bandit. Long range is not that bad, but won't be an insta-kill. A Sandwich is aware of the position and will be clearing it perfectly. And now they can so choose to execute towards B site.
Yeah, and they will be able to take B side without any fights or necessary fights, as you know, it will be clear for them. Recon Dart being able to scan out JJ.
30 seconds left.
Well, it should be the spike planted nonetheless, right? And with the Recon Dart only scanning out one, right? It's not a lot of information to work with. And Nove on an operator, not the best weapon for retake. So I think they're just going to be opting to save here instead. And that does look like to be the case. They're not really in the best position economy-wise, and they'd much rather save their guns. But Kakashi is still able to find a consolation prize at the very least. The Cove making this a bit difficult, but Sandwich finds the off angle. And now I feel like a little bit of an overplay from Kakashi, but Nove at the very least able to find a kill. And look at this, Nemui actually finds two. Suddenly this play is so doable from the side of Trident. Riles holding onto this off angle, able to find one, but the operator shot from Nove is perfect, but there's no time left remaining. A beautiful attempt from the side of Trident Esports, but at the end of the day, you're playing against the clock, and the clock runs out. Chubby Bunnies will get the round, but a costly one for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was looking absolutely incredible there when both Nove and Nomui just being able to pull off those frags there. But unfortunately, you know, with Riles being able to just play for time, let the spike bomb like just tick down, you know, I was able to win the round for Chubby Bunnies there.
I think honestly, Chubby Bunnies, they're starting to get a hold of how they want to be playing this attacker side. And I think, speaking of hold, let's see if Trident can hold on to this B side, because I think we'll be running into all the players here. Nobody unable to get even a shot out, gets taken down. Convergent Paths as well available. In fact, it will be Lychee falling straight through the Cove, and the Convergent Paths not really finding value, but at the very least, it does help them clear outside. And now with the High Tide blocking off the angle, maybe another save for Trident. In fact, I think that is exactly what they're going to be going for. It's not looking good for them. I did say defense would struggle on this map.
Yeah. And right you are with that. I mean, you can just see how fast. I mean, especially with the high tide and the Viper's wall there, to be able to just take that site clearly, to have the wall down instantly instead of having to worry about the timing of orb smokes. You know, it really helps with their team comp.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so much like ability for the side of Chubby Bunnies to really just, I don't know, like they seem not only just the team composition, right? They just there's so much like synchronization coming out from their side. Again, this is looking like map number 1 here as Nemui able to get a kill, no longer a flawless, funnily enough. I mean, we see flawless, but Nemui's able to find a kill, but shouldn't really matter too much for Chubby Bunnies because they are sitting rather comfortably once again. And in fact, Sandwich is 1 away from the overdrive, so it shouldn't really matter too much going into this next round. But as we mentioned, right, this is attacker sided, and that was Lotus as well, mind you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll have to see in the second half if Trident decides to, you know, bring it back up. But for now, you know, Chubby Bunnies will be looking very solid on this first half for the moment, you know.
Yeah, they are looking very much solid here. You know, despite having a harbor and it being liquid. Okay, that's a horrible joke. I'm so sorry. But let's see if this entry is a joke for the side of Trident, as they're definitely making fun of Chubby Bunnies, taking them down 1 by 1 despite the hard entry. And it will be Wilted on the backside, looking for another one. A 3K for the harbor, in fact. And there you go. He sends them to a watery grave indeed. Trident put a stop to the bleeding, and the blood fills the water. Trident will be going to 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, like, Wilted just absolutely showing his force there. Like, it was absolutely amazing play from both, I think it was Nove and Wilted there, like, holding back towards a pyramid. It was absolutely well done, despite Chubby Bunny trying to try and force their way in. Just gets absolutely knocked down by Nove and Wilted here.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Trident, I mean, Chubby Bunnies really went for a force, but they weren't ready for the amount of utility Trident had in store for them. And of course, now they're burning a lot of utility. Once again, the Reckoning coming out to the left side of A side. They're going to be going for that Recon Dart as well to clear out right. And now, Reckoning makes it a bit difficult. Saturate as well to push them back. It's going to be a full-on retake for Trident. And yet Nove is able to get a kill through the smoke, through the high tide. And now it's a 4 versus 5. The Viper Spit at the very least was committed. So this will be a rather difficult retake here as it will be planted down towards the edge. But Nove finds another one as well. On to Splash. 5 versus 3. They need to look for the control of the drone as well, clearing out close quarters. But Riles holding on to the mid pyramids can look for a pick here if he so chooses to do so off the timing, but needs to be wary of the fact that there will be the kill contract being activated as well. Able to connect on the one, the double tap gets broken down, and yet Chong will be able to find the one to get kill. And now Riles will be going to be able to go for the support, taking down Wilted. Nove and Kakashi trying to look up for the clutch up, but now all down to the Sova. And yet, it won't matter. Chubby Bunnies give them 1 round after the 3-win streak, but they say no to the momentum that Trident was trying to build. And now, looking at it, 7-4, this really is looking like a repeat of map number 1 to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, that Viper's Pit, absolutely well done from JJ there, making it really difficult for Trident to do that retake. I can see what they were trying to go for with the kill contract, but unfortunately wasn't able to pick off JJ, and unfortunately takes Riles, I believe, in that ult instead.
Yeah, I think right now, Chubby Bunnies, I mean, they're looking strong at the moment. They are looking like they're going to be going for another rush potentially, but this Viper Spit will make it a bit difficult. Do they want to choose to push into this? Mind you, Emui has Bucky, but this Owl Drone can definitely catch them off guard. No, can't actually find the scan. They're going to be going into it nonetheless. In fact, the refract will actually choose to cancel the entire execution. And now Overdrive as well was activated from Sandwich, but doesn't really amount to anything as they're looking to change courses here, sailing away down towards mid instead.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, they just deem that, you know, that Viper's Pit is gonna be just a little bit too much for them this time around, and they will just be looking over towards mid. Nove will be holding this mid doors here now, and they will just be pivoting towards A side, with Wilted being the sole defender. Outdrone here will be trying to get information, will be able to spot out Zhong here, but no one else, unfortunately.
Yeah, I like this pivot coming out from the side of Chubby Bunnies. In fact, I'm going to be catching Wilted off guard here, but let's see if he's wary of this. In fact, he throws down the Cove, but he's the lone player actually here, and yet gets one onto JJ. But at the very least, Nove ends up falling from the side of Chong, from Chong actually, in fact, but the Reckoning will be activated as well from Wilted, yet he's the only one here. In fact, Sandwich doesn't get blinded out. The Cove blocking out the angle as well. Can be playing down toward this corner. In fact, another kill for this Sova. Chong finding another one down towards mid, finally gets put to a stop by Nemui, and yet the recon dart will make this a tad bit easier for the side of Trident, and despite that, Splash will be taking down Kakashi. 2 versus 3. Nemui trying to play down towards the close angle. No, he's too far actually. He's on bridge, unable to help now. Wilted. It's all down to Wilted to try and get the 3K, but will he be able to find one? No. Sandwich puts a stop to him, and with that, it's a 4-8 first half in favor of Chubby Bunnies, but I don't want to say anything too soon because Lotus was also an 8-4.
I mean, we've seen what can happen with this scoreline, you know. I mean, into Lotus here, but like, you know, anything can happen. You know, anything
True.
can happen. But you know, I think that hopefully maybe Chubby Bunnies here will be able to, you know, still keep that momentum that they had going from that first half on towards the second half. Unless they want to experience something like what happened to Lotus again, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they don't want it to be similar to Lotus. They want to go to game number 3, map number 3, obviously. But the thing is, right, Trident, they look way more comfortable on the attack side most of the time. So I'm wondering if they can somewhat repeat that. But with this high tide early from Riles, actually, it's kind of signaling to Trident that, hey, this looks like they're contesting B main, but now they're actually moving down towards mid, taking this elbow control. And Sandwich, I don't think you want to be pushing this. Going for the swing. Is able to find one though at the very least. So that's value. Taking down the Harbor as well. So that's one controller down on the side of Trident. I think that's valuable actually for Bunny, despite even trades being in favor of attackers. In fact, Splash looking for another one. Won't be able to find it, but some chip damage is dealt nonetheless.
Yeah, you can see here, still will be trying to look over towards this B site here. Nemui just trying to work his way and clear out as much space as he can, make as much space as he can for Trident here. The timing.
Riles will be bringing the recon target scanned out, in fact, and it will be a kill for Nemui, and in fact, it will be. The backside is now full control of Trident. In fact, Chong needs to look for the kill here, but no, Nemui finds another as well. This is the control that Trident are good at. Chubby Bunny's on his give up so much here. It's a 2 versus 4. Let's see if Splash can make an impact, as it will be 1 already for Splash here. Needs to be careful to double up on backside, looking for the swing. Gets a dink, gets a shot. In fact, gets instead Kakashi. And now they even up the numbers. 2 for 2. Refract available as well. Looking for the swing. Nove low on HP. Splash getting a third. And now it will be JJ to close out the round. They are here on 9 rounds. Pistol side for them here on the second half.
Absolutely amazing retake for Bunny there. And Splash just being able to get those picks from backside. Catching out Trident. There and manages to win out that pistol round for Chubby Bunnies there.
Can I just say that was very unlucky for Kakashi, right? I mean, Splash goes for the swing, dinks Nove, and like, I'm not sure if it was a second or third bullet, ends up running into Kakashi. Like, he's running away. He's shooting while running away. And either the second or third bullet, the first one hit Nove in the head, and then the second or third bullet hit Kakashi in the head as he was running back to cover. That's gotta be unlucky for Trident.
Yeah, no, that was actually super unlucky. And now we're seeing a little bit of some deja vu here with this crossfire with JJ and Splash here.
I mean, it didn't work out for Trident, and yet Chubby Bunnies are doing something similar. But the difference is here, Mal, is that they have the weaponry. Previously, Trident did not have the weaponry in this crossfire, but Chubby Bunny definitely do. And excuse me? Sandwich?
Hello? Sandwich?
How did Sandwich make his way all the way there? Now spikes down on the ground. JJ gets a kill with the snake bat. In fact, and now Splash as well as Chong will be able to find kills of their own. It's all down to Lychee, and yet it's a flawless for the side of Chubby Bunnies.
Oh my god, wait, that was absolute. You blink and you missed that round. That's how fast that round went. Sandwich, though, having a very fast flank there, you know, with the high gear, and that just absolutely caught Kakashi off guard there. And now,
Agreed.
yeah, Chubby Bunny's here going for 10.
Oh, it's not like the first map at all. Because mind you, Chubby Bunny's only won 1 round on that first map on second half, and now they've won out 2, so they already broke the trend, I would say, that was building up here. So now Riles holding down towards mid with Stinger. This should be a 1 round for Trident. They are on the bonus, and yet Nemui loses the double tap. Needs to be careful. Gets a beautiful shot onto Chong, and now at the very least it's a trade for the side of Chubby Bunnies. In fact, Riles is able to get a kill as well with the Stinger, and now they have to look to back away. They want to keep the numbers advantage, and yet Riles is looking to re-aggress. In fact, Splash holding on to the corner. Riles takes down Wilton, and they're forced into this weird angle here. No more light speed available for this Waylay. In fact, Shock Darts landing, and yet the second one misses. Snakebite available. Splash looking for the saturate, looking for the kill. It will end up landing. He finds one, but Kakashi trades it out. Kakashi 1 versus 3, picking up the Phantom, 30 bullets left in the chamber. Will look for the kill, and yet it's a crossfire coming out from Chubby Bunnies, and Riles with the Stinger long range gets a 3-piece for him on the bonus of Trident.
And yeah, Bunny has now officially been able to, definitely brought back the momentum from that first half into the second half, and Trident looking really rough yet again, And as we will see them just be able to buy up sheriffs and try and figure out something to do with this round. So they have to do something here.
Yeah, they have to do something. Trident are suffering here on the attacker side. And I was talking about how defense would suffer, but Chubby Bunnies definitely have this whole plan out, laid out in front of them, and it's working so well. The thing is, if you lay out your plan so openly, Trident can look to read it, but so far they haven't been able to do so. But Nemui, off angle down towards window. I don't think Sandwich is aware of this. In fact, can look to go for the kill, and we'll be able to get the wallbang headshot. That's a beautiful first pick for the side of Trident. Let's see if they can make the most out of it, though.
Yeah, and it did seem to get some attention from Chubby Bunnies. Unfortunately, doesn't cause quite a big of a scene to get a rotate yet. Oh my god.
Beautiful shot as well from Splash. Making the numbers even now. The drone will be spotting out Chong, but he'll have to just run away, honestly. He doesn't want to get shot through the box. And now, looks like the spike is going to be leaning towards B side. Only JJ on the whole needs to be careful of the mid control as well. And yet Trident are playing down towards this main, and now Kakashi ends up falling as well. Trident, they're kind of falling apart here, but they are going to be using that high tide towards the B side. Let's see if JJ can hold on to this backside. So now he'll look for the first kill over the opening pick, and we'll be able to find one on to Wilton. Does miss a few shots on the Nemui, but he is aware of the jump up, and we'll be able to get the kill. There is support as well from his teammate, and yet he's looking for the jump up, but Lychee says no, but the shorty comes out from Splash. It's already match point, by the way, for Chubby Bunnies, as they're up 12-4.
Yes, yeah, I mean, we can see here Chubby Bunnies just will not be having they will not be having the same repeat as to what happened last game. They are here to win, and they want to bring this into the deciding map. And I mean, you can see you can feel the confidence that is exuding from Chubby Bunnies.
Yeah, I think Chubby Bunnies definitely know what they're doing now, and Trident, I mean, it's a buy round for them. They have the kill contract available, and of course, Kakashi's one away from the Hunter's Fury. In fact, the kill contract will be activated immediately. Convergent Pats, it was activated, but Nemui dodges it, and now he should be able to win on the 1 versus 1 with the advantage here, but Novi ends up falling as well. Kakashi gets a pick down as well, and it will be the flank being taken down. Trident was ready for that complete pincer from Chubby Bunnies, and now 2 versus 4. In fact, Riles is looking for a flank and look for the timing, and yet Nemui is holding on to it with Kakashi. Let's see if the timing is favorable for this Harbor. Unable to get the shot, but does get a dink onto Nemui at the very least. And now, look at the flank from Lychee.
Yeah, as you can see here, it's looking kind of rough. Will JJ be able to catch them out? Unfortunately, he will be able to get Nemui, but unfortunately gets traded out by Kakashi. Riles managing to get one, does get 2 as well. And it's all left down to 1v1 against Kakashi and Riles here.
He has a Storm Surge available. Can look for the kill. Recon Dart comes out. Kakashi hears him break it. Block is ticking, but it's very early in the round. early, very early for the spike. He can look to play the time here, play the clock here. In fact, he will. Riles clutches it out in the 1 versus 3. The Harbor wins it out, win that clutch, and with that, it will be Chubby Bunnies taking map number 2 in a dominant fashion. 13-4. We are not looking at a repeat of map number 1. In fact, we are seeing map number 3 later, folks, because Chubby Bunnies take the second game.
Absolutely amazing round there by Riles, being able to play that like just so confidently, despite the odds being stacked up against him. He managed to be able he was able to manage to be able to play out that round really like in a very calm fashion, and was able to win out that round there. For Chubby Bunnies.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's a stat line. I mean, if we were talking about Nove having a near 2 KD, Splash has more than a 2 KD. In fact, he has about let me do the math here. Nah, actually, I'm too lazy to do the math. It's basically a 2.4 or something. You know, I'm not doing all that. But 27-11, 391 ACS here, Mal.
Oh my gosh, the numbers are crazy. Holy Splash, absolutely locked in this Breeze game, and you can see. I mean, it's just the stats show everything.
I mean, Splash making a splash on a map like Breeze, where it's literally just a beach, isn't it? So I mean, he's in his home element, I will say.
Yes,
he is. So it ended up working in their favor here. I can't believe we're going the distance again. I think this is the second series I've casted where we've gone to a game number 3.
Yeah.
So I'm already loving the competitiveness every single team in this tournament has been showing thus far.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely enjoying it too. And like yet again, like it was just amazing to see how everyone else played for like, you know, with Trident and Chubby Bunnies. You see Wilted as well being able to play, like do these amazing plays, and it's just, you know, everyone in the in Chubby Bunnies and Trident Esports, you know, they should pat themselves on the back for their performance that game, because they all did this very well, you know?
Yeah, I think overall, Chubby Bunnies definitely had like a really good game here. And I think, you know, Trident just couldn't seem to find their footing. I mean, I'm talking about the water analogies and everything, and Trident, you know, despite it being a water map in a sense, just couldn't seem to find their element here.
Yeah.
In fact, they were grounded and just completely shut off by Chubby Bunnies, who did in fact pick this map. So of course it is home ground advantage for them. But of course we are going to be going on to that decider map, which is Haven here, Mal. But with that being said, that was game number 2. We are tied up in the series 1-1 between Trident Esports and Chubby Bunnies. But with that being said, guys, we're going to be going on a short little break. Make sure to stick around because we'll be back real soon for the final map of this best of 3 series.
Just don't let it fade. Don't let go of your face. I think that you know. You hate that bitter taste. Falling again. All the lessons you learned. Eyes wide open. This is your moment. Turn away. Feel the pain. It's your fate. Celebrate. We gotta stay awake. We gotta stay awake. We gotta stay awake. Falling again. Eyes wide open. Go get your freedom. We gotta stay awake.
fight about the team. If it comes, I'ma die with it. Casualties, casually to any adversaries. If it's necessary, I'ma go and come and ride with it. Let me welcome you to my legion. If you mess with us, we gon' put you on a t-shirt. Never take a day off, what's a leisure? Squad's always up, this teamwork, stream work. चलो फिर आ जाओ सारे एक एक मारे फिर एक और एक गारे सारे मेरे बंटर बावे रेगिस्तान में भी हम नदियां बहा दे चलो साले दे मत बहाने वाला टना मत जब हम आ जाए सामने और करे तेरे बारे मेरे मेरी टीम मेरे पीछे क्या करेगा तू जब I said I got your back 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 I said I got your back 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 I said I got your back in my team we adapt we a family from around the world we are back you can never take us down and that's a fact all we do is improvise and adapt I said I got your back I got your back and I said I got your back I got your back I got your back I got your back and I said I got your back I got your back I said I got your back I got your back हम खड़े फिर यहीं ऊपर आसमान नीचे जमीन पूरा है अब हमें यकीन बढ़ते रहना आगे और चढ़ते रहना ऊपर साथ मेहनत है और हमारा जमीन खुशी हो या गमी जीत की तरफ है बढ़ते जाना लड़ते जाना कभी माननी है हार नहीं we work hard and we play hard चाहे जितना भी दिखे हम गंभीर चलो करें मजे I said I got your back and my team we adapt we a family from around the world we are back you can never take us down and that's a fact all we do is improvise and adapt I said I got your back and I said I got your back and I said I got your back all we do is improvise and adapt
Hello and welcome back everyone to the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitational Group B lower bracket between Trident Esports versus Chubby Bunnies. Once again, I'm your caster for today, Abyss, and joined with me is the one and only Mal, and we are here to bring you the final game of this best of threes between the two teams I mentioned, and I'm looking forward to it because so far, Mal, it's been an insane series, no?
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely crazy, the back and forth between these teams. I mean, you can just feel they're brimming with confidence with these battles. I mean, you know, you have that lovely Breeze game, you know, from Trident winning 13 and 9. I mean, not Lotus game, 13 and 9 for Trident. But then Chubby Bunnies being able to bring it back forth and bring it to the decider map with 13 and 4 against Trident. And so now all we have to do is run through Haven and see where the road takes us, Abyss.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one heck of a final decider game here. And I gotta say, both teams have showed promise here, but Chubby Bunnies, girl, I gotta say, it was a 13-4. What am I talking about? 13-4 from the side of Chubby Bunnies. I think they have the momentum in their favor. Now, the thing is, of course, Trident, they are liking these big maps, these three-side maps. They look super comfortable on Lotus attack. I'm sure they have a similar game plan going into map number 3, but of course, when you run a theory like that, as similar to your first map, I'm sure Chubby Bunnies as well will have a pretty good read on you. So I'm expecting this to be a competitive map number 3 between the two teams. I'm not expecting a stomp, but I can't say anything because I know how casters jinx games, and I've done it way too many times, I gotta say.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I can't also say anything, you know. I mean, Haven is just one of those maps where we're gonna have to see how these two teams play off against each other. And if we do see, I believe, I mean, we want to see the stats from both Nove and Splash, I believe, you know. Those two absolutely killing right now.
Hold on a second.
Hold on a second.
I love the prod, like the prod switch up. Hold on a second. That doesn't look right. Yi Jin Kadiri? I mean,
yeah.
Hold on. Which, okay, honestly, I'm looking forward to their games, by the way, as well. But that's side note. That's a side note altogether, because I have casted for them before, so I do know
Yeah.
their history quite a bit. But anyways, they are not the team we're supposed to be looking at here. But one of the players we did see, Splash, who did a stellar job on Chubby Bunny's map number 2. So,
Definitely.
what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, Splash. I mean, Splish Splash. He was taking a bath, like on that Breeze map. Like that, he was absolutely popping off, doing what every entry duelist should. I wish in my games were to do. Entry, get those frags, and was absolutely amazing. Was able to play off his team's util, really well. And unfortunately, we won't be able to get up the stats. Apparently, I hear from the bottom of my from prod. So that's quite unfortunate. But yeah, no, Splash was absolutely exceptional during that last game.
I gotta say, I think Chubby Bunnies looked very much comfortable in that game number 2. And yeah, we saw it a while ago, and we're seeing it here again. That Splash 27 and 11 had a really, really good game. 27, 11, and 5. So insane KDA, that's for sure. 391 ACS, 30% headshot rating. I gotta say, not as high as Nove, I believe, which was on map number 1, but the impact definitely was felt here in map number 2, way more in my opinion, because it was definitely a stomp from Chubby Bunnies, right? And I think if they can carry on over that confidence, that momentum into map number 3, I did say I'm not expecting a stomp, but I can definitely see this being a winning factor for the side of Chubby Bunnies as they move forward into Haven, right? So I think they want to be able to carry that over.
Yeah, hopefully they will be able to carry that momentum over. Obviously, hopefully they are wanting to be able to bring this back over towards them. Both teams here not wanting to be eliminated, and we will be able to go into Agent Select and see what these two teams have in store for Haven. And we're looking at two very similar team comps for Trident and Chubby Bunnies here. The only difference being, Nove on that Neon and Splash being on that Waylay, battle of these entry duelists, am I right?
Yeah, I think it's the comfortable agents once again, right? Except for, as you mentioned, right, Nove is not on the Jet, he's on the Neon this time. What I'm actually looking at is that Nemui is on a Yoru and Splash. So they both have Neons on their team. But Nemui is going to be on that Yoru, and it's going to be Splash on that Waylay, which we've seen again on map number 2 did a really amazing job, right? So I think Nemui, the Yoru tech definitely is returning into Valorant, I will say, because of his buffs. And I'm hoping to see what they have, because I don't know if Trident Esports have really scrimmed it a lot. I mean, given the fact that he was only buffed recently, but I'm sure they are confident with this comp nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, though, both teams haven't actually picked Haven. So I believe this will be their first game for both teams here on Haven. So it's going to be very interesting how they take towards this map.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a very interesting one for them. And of course, with the way they play, right, both teams, very aggressive teams. They seem to do really well on attack most of the time, especially we saw that in map number 1. Map number 2, Chubby Bunnies were dominant on the attack, but Trident, they couldn't seem to get on their feet on that second half on map number 2. So I'm thinking they are going to be trying to change things up here. Trident will be on the attack first, I believe. So of course, with that being said, right, they should be able to, or they should try at the very least, to get that early advantage, since they are going to be on that stronger position at the first half.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you have Nemui on the Yori, not providing additional flashes for Trident Esports to be able to clear any close quarters, hopefully, and that's not, that's unfortunately something that Chubby Bunnies will be lacking in terms of utility. They don't have any blinds for them to be able to, take and control and retake potential sites. But going into this game here, both teams looking quite solid. I can see Chubby Bunnies here with the 50% win rate on pistol compared to Trident with the 37.5. But stats are stats, and anything can happen between these two teams here. As you can see on both sides here, Chubby Bunnies just working their way and clearing out this C long space. while Trident works their way up towards A.
Oh, but Lychee actually finds the pick instead, despite that being 4 players on the side of Chubby Bunnies. Lychee actually finds 2. That shouldn't be happening, and he gets out of the position as well. So a little bit of a strange play coming out from Chubby Bunnies, a little bit disjointed, in fact. In the camera, I love this position. We'll be able to spot out 3. But I think Lychee is aware of this flank here. Saturate is pretty good, in fact. Splash will be able to get the kill off of it. And now the Brian comes out as well on the defense spawn. JJ needs to be careful of the push-up. The Rita Boy coming on forward as well with the jump up. But JJ finds the kill nonetheless. A 2 versus 2. They lose side control because of it. However, it is Nemui with the ghost looking to go for the shots through the smoke. Riles with the ghost of his own looking for the defuse at the very least. 1 versus 2 will be sticking it, but it doesn't matter. Wilted will be able to find a kill through the dark cover. And with that pistol, we'll be going to the side of Trident.
Yeah, really interesting to see how both teams play that out. I mean, Chubby Bunny is really trying to just take control of that C long space altogether, leaving leaving JJ to fend off A site for themselves, and we can see there that Lychee absolutely being able to nail those flank frags, and will be able to win out the round for Trident.
I feel like if Lychee didn't get those 2 frags, this would have been a completely different pistol round. But now, I mean, off of Lychee's 2K, they are able to get these weaponries into the next round. And now, Trident scaling up down towards A long, the dark cover making it difficult really for Chong to have any info, as he's actually saving the recon dart, interestingly enough, but he might end up running into the crosshairs of Trident. In fact, Wilted's able to find 2, and now it looks like Splash is low on HP. Paranoia available down towards the left side as well, the Graffiti, and now scaling on forward. The counter Paranoia comes on forward, but Kakashi is still able to find a kill with the Spectre Spray. And now Riles, Sandwich holding on to the A side. They are aware that they're going to be pushing up, scaling up, in fact, and Sandwich tries to get a kill, but unable to find the 3rd shot, and now looking for more. Riles with the right-click classic, looking for the first pick-off for the side of Chubby Bunnies. However, now is Nove with the flank through sewers to get the kill, and with that, a clean anti-eco round from the side of Trident Esports.
Very, very well played there by Trident, obviously being on their bye round. It being their anti-eco round, for Bunny, it was really rough to try and get any amount of picks there. And Kakashi being able to land those shots on towards Chubby Bunny, catching out, I believe, Splash and Sandwich it was, there. It was very unfortunate.
Yeah, it definitely was, but hold on. Look at Splash's position with the refract looking for the kill, but Nove and Wilted are able to get the kills nonetheless. They were able to catch out the off angle, and it just doesn't really work out in their favor. On the side of Chubby Bunnies, they lose 2 players on their bonus round, and now they're able to get some rifles here for the side of Trident, but we still have Chong holding on to A side, looking for the kills. They are rotating, but Riles is aware of the potential lurk here from Lychee.
Yeah, and we can see here the garage trip here, looking to somewhat pause Lychee's lurk here. And Lychee will be calling out for the rotate for Trident here. Riles trying to hear out any kind of information, trying to peek out towards this mid space.
They're pinging him. They actually pinged him, in fact, so they know there's Riles down towards the mid angle. In fact, now Trident feel like they're confident to execute towards C side. In fact, they are able to get the gate crash onto the backside. However, Nemui needs to be careful, able to get 1, but now it will be a 2 versus 3. In fact, a 1 versus 3 as Chong is the last remaining player down towards A side. And Chong?
Chong?
Oh no.
Do we have a play DC?
We don't know. Maybe he's just so calm and really okay. We got confirmation that it is a player DC, but I'll be honest, I don't know if that really would have changed much in this situation, because Chong really was holding on to the A side, but now it's just a bit unfortunate that he's unable to reconnect here in this round. But Trident, they win out the bonus.
Yeah, I really did try. I did enjoy what Chubby Bunny was going to go for there towards their A long, but unfortunately, just gets caught out. Splash and Sandwich trying to play off each other. Gets caught out by Nove there and Kakashi, and it was just very unfortunate. And
yeah, definitely unfortunate. I gotta agree. But You gotta make the most out of what you have. And Chubby Bunnies, they're not gonna have much remaining in this next round. It was their bonus, but at the very strong, since he disconnected, is the only one to carry a rifle into the next round.
Yeah, no, we will be looking over towards a technical pause here. This is my first tech pause.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't run into a tech pause yet.
Well, there's a first time for everything, and it's gonna be the first tech pause for me as well in this tournament. So, I mean, it's bound to happen eventually, right?
Yeah,
Tech pauses are somewhat unavoidable in tournaments. I gotta say, the whole joke about EMEA tournaments having so many tech pauses in their tournaments. I mean, even at the professional level, it happens, right? So.
But yeah, I mean, so far, Trident seems to be having a really dominant attacking half here. What do you suppose that Chubby Bunnies try and do to deny them more rounds?
The problem is I feel like Chubby Bunnies are trying to force up angles where it's not actually like they're forcing neutral positions, which is fine, by the way. You want to fight for neutral positions a lot of the times on defense because you deny orbs, you deny push-ups, you deny uncertainty, right? And in a map like Haven and like maps like Lotus, uncertainty is the death of defenders. They need to know where the execution is happening so they can properly set up their utility. Now the thing is, Chubby Bunnies are playing for neutral space without actually holding on to the choke points afterwards. So they try to fight for neutral, end up dying, or they either end up dying or backing out. But so far, the past 3 rounds, they end up dying instead. And what ends up happening here is that they actually lose out on the neutral space and are forced to play off the lack of information that, that they ended up losing, right? Because of that whole fight or the whole scuffles down towards a main or even down towards like mid, right? So I feel like what they have to do is they need to play off the chokeholds more, the choke points more. And that's what they might look for, or potentially look for a mid play as well. Let's see.
Yeah, and it looks like we'll be resuming back into the game. Zhong looking fresh and fresh coming back in here with the hero rifle in hand, while the buy for Chubby Bunny will be looking quite low, just buying up the sheriffs as per usual.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they don't really have much to work with, but they are gonna fight staying mid anyways. The cam actually gets broken down towards mid, so they are aware of a potential mid contest. But the Trident team is actually gonna be moving up towards C. This camera not really showing much information yet, but they do hear the drone, and now it will be the potential push-up. In fact, the blind side is at the ready as well for Nemwe, but JJ is holding on to the backside. Shock darts coming on forward onto the cage. They're able to swarm down towards side. In fact, the recon dart does spot out, Wilted actually, in fact. He ends up falling as well. Backside control still in the favor of Chubby Bunnies. In fact, Riles finds a shot with the Sheriff as well. They're going to be regrouping down towards platform. Trident, they need to reclaim this area. They need to reclaim the spot before they can go for the spike plant. The relay bolt coming onto the backside, able to get the stun up, and Nova gets killed with that outlaw. Saturate not landing at anyone, but Sandwich is able to get a kill with the Vandal that was picked up from Nemwe. And now 1 versus 1. Kakashi and Sandwich, rifles in the both hands, and Sandwich actually gets the kill with the Bandit. Chubby Bunnies on a clutch play actually win out the round.
Yeah, no, Sandwich Dead absolutely dominating with the 4K there and being able to win up on that econ, landing those very nice clean bandit shots, mind you, bringing up a round finally for Chubby Bunnies onto what's this third map here.
I feel like Chubby Bunnies, they had a beautiful read coming out. And again, this is what you want to play. You want to play for the choke points. You want to play for backside. See a side, there's a lot of angles you've been playing off of. And now Chubby Bunnies are reverting back to their neutral space control. I'm kind of worried for Splash here. Because if he ends up falling, oh boy, this is not going to be looking good. Saturate comes on forward, but the high gear from Nove was perfect. Completely dodging out the utility. And now they're going to lack so much information. Sandwich with a blind shot to the dark cover, not landing. But Trident, they're scaling up here towards A, but the lack of information, as I mentioned, will make this difficult for Chubby Bunnies. In fact, they are aware of a potential lurker from Lychee, but the overdrive activated from Nove. Recon dart towards the backside, does spot out one. In fact, Nove will get the kill through the fast lane. In fact, looking for another one. Riles with the paranoia, no longer available. Needs to back out, but Sandwich found the kill down towards Sewers. Will get stunned up by the relay bolt. Overdrive runs out, but Wilted will find a kill towards JJ. Will be a 1 versus 4. They now know that Sandwich is in Sewers, looking for the blind shot once again, not landing with the no scope, and Nove just runs him down with the Phantom.
Yes, and they will be able to secure an operator for themselves Not sure what's gonna do for them on the attacking round, but you know, operator still nonetheless is quite a deadly weapon in the hands of anyone on this on any of the teams here. And 4-1 for Trident.
Yeah, it's 4-1 for Trident, and Chubby Bunnies, yeah, sure. They got one in the 4th round, but if Trident builds a slow lead here in the first half, it can actually potentially move on towards the second, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do so. And Trident are now changing things up. They're playing slowly. They're playing for this like defaults. In fact, the Shock Dart breaks the garage strip as well, mind you, so you gotta be careful about this potential C hit. In fact, Chubby Bunnies are actually gonna full commit towards this rotation because they need to stack together.
Yeah, and as you can see here, it's I mean, it's not really a bad read from them. They have to play together, you know, as it is their econ round. And John having the hero rifle in hand, and Trident would just be trying to slow push on towards this A side here.
I do like the position of them. We holding on to the C-long position. Here's the camera, so waiting for an overpeak. As Nove is making a lot of sounds, but Chubby Bunnies are way too far to actually hear this, but they are going to be going for the rotations, the dark cover to cover out garage as well. Chubby Bunnies can look to go back towards C, and that may be the call being made here as Spike was leaning towards that angle, but in fact, Trident may look at a B site hit.
And as we haven't been able to see a B site hit from any of these teams from Trident so far, and it would be getting on towards that site for free.
Yeah, Paranoia is beautiful as well, but despite that, the sheriff shots weren't landing. If Wilted was able to find 2. JJ with the sheriff shots with Rias as well with the support. Right click is beautiful as well from the Omen. Looking for more, but the shots aren't landing. Nemui, in fact, is able to get the kill with Lychee, and with that, a close round, 3 for 5, but Trident still end up winning the round, going to 5 rounds.
Yeah, no, Wilted there being able to land some nasty shots on towards that retake from that potential retake from Chubby Bunnies, but this unfortunately wasn't enough. They did not have the firepower for themselves, and yeah, Trident manages to get another round for themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is looking really difficult for the side of Chubby Bunnies. That was a save round, so they are going to be in the buy once again. And this time, Sandwich has the operator shot, but so does Nemui, in fact. He had an operator going into this round. He's able to win out the duel here on the long range, and they could, in fact, go to the execute. In fact, Wilted has actually made his way down towards Hell, can look for this control here alongside Nove, but despite that, Splash finds 2. Saturate comes out, Kakashi hit on forward, Recon Dart destroyed. It's a 1 versus 2 situation with Chong holding on to sewers, aware that he can isolate the duel. In fact, he will find and kill JJ. Holding on to this angle, knows that there's a potential play here down towards the wide shot, but Kakashi decides to go close, decides to go for the close quarter combat, and gets the 3K clutch for Trident. A close round, but Trident still come out on top.
Yeah, so unfortunate there for Chubby Bunnies. They just weren't able to play off each other, Jong and JJ there, and Kakashi just managed to win out the timing and clutch out yet another round for Trident. Trident looking very dominant thus far in this game here.
I mean, I said a while ago that I wasn't expecting a stomp, but did I really caster jinx it? Did I really call it a bit too early? I think I called it too early here, Mal. But speaking of early, an early push out coming out from the side of Chubby Bunnies as they're trying to take control down towards mid. In fact, Riles has made his way down towards window of the cage, making it very easy to dodge out. However, the Hunter's Fury able to get the tag, but now it seems like the numbers are working in favor for Trident. They're able to swarm back towards window and take the fight to the side of Chubby Bunnies. But it will be a kill at the very least for Chong down towards mid, taking down Wilted. No more controller on the side of Trident, but I don't think that is necessary because it's 2 versus 4 and they are scaling towards Garage Splash. You are going to be in for a surprise as Nove takes his head clean off as it's going to be a C-side hit.
Yeah, no, and Jong's just left here by himself in this 4v1 situation. I mean, surely you're looking over towards a save here for the rifle in hand.
I mean, honestly, he's gonna try and, save it for sure. I mean, not much you're gonna be doing the 1 versus 4, but if he finds a timing, maybe he can look for something. But I mean, there's a trap wire down towards Garage, can't even look for that play as well. Well, as you mentioned, go over for save. Chubby Bunnies, they're looking like they're struggling here on this first half. In fact, they really are struggling in this first half as they seem to not have an answer yet.
Yeah, no, this is quite unlike Chubby Bunnies here from what we just saw in that last game on Breeze, am I right? I mean, it's just so
Yeah,
much
exactly.
control that Trident is taking over. And I feel like, Chubby Bunnies needs to do like have a timeout, take a breather, a mental reset or something, because they're making some questionable plays that I really think that and as soon as I say
There it
that,
is.
yeah,
There it is. You called it.
that they're not playing with each other. They're just rushing out, and they're playing on. Mind you, they're on defense. They're playing so aggressively for no reason. I feel.
See, that's the problem, right? Yeah, like it feels like desperation plays, right? It feels like they're just calling anything. Like they're just calling anything here. And the thing is, you can't just make a call and expect it to work if not everyone is on the same page. In fact, the one round they won was the one where they swarmed backside C off the side smoke of Riles. And that's the coordination you need if you want to win out defense side. You want to be playing these angles, right? These favorable angles on defense together. And Riles and Sandwich did that on the defense side, on C side, and it worked out in their favor. The problem is they're not doing it again. And in fact, as you mentioned, are forcing so much neutral space where Trident are the ones that are supposed to be forcing into you. And Bunny, they're struggling to hold on to these angles because of it.
Yeah, no, and now the eco for Chubby Bunnies is just gonna be looking again really rough. As they have to force up here and try to just get to sit back here comfortably with how much econ they have built up here.
Yeah, I think they are, looking very strong right now. Nemui, in fact, got 7.6k credits. That's a ridiculous amount of money that he has in this round. But granted, it's 7-1. I wouldn't be surprised for someone to have this many credits going into this round. But now, with an operator at hand, can look to go for a pick. But the dark cover from their own team actually makes it a bit difficult to go for that. JJ needs to be careful as they are seeming to scale up here towards C, potentially just going for the orb, though.
And we can see here Trident just being so slow, so patient, just wanting to see if Chubby Bunnies will try and slip up yet again and give them those 3 kills.
I gotta say, by the way, Wilted is popping off, by the way. 10-4 at 2.5k lead thus far. And he can look for more. As now the Dimensional Drift will be coming out from Nemui, looking to scale up down towards Sewers. Clears it out, does see one. That is Sandwich towards the angle. And there's not the Shuri to go for the execution. In fact, Chong is getting pushed out of his angle. And now it will be Splash Hour to find a kill. The shorty out from Nemui is way too far. The Dimensional Drift play completely falls apart. And Chubby Bunnies, they were able to take control of the A backside and Graffiti. It's all up to Lychee on the Slurk. 3 versus 5 needs to open up the kill, but the timing, JJ able to get across, but they're still going to be going towards this A side, trying to force the fights, trying to find individualistic kills, but Kakashi takes an unfavorable trade. It's all down to Lychee. 1 versus 4. The clutch player looking for the pipes control finds one, but 8 seconds left in the clock. It's impossible to win out this round, and now we'll decide to save out the rifle.
Yeah, very well played. Unfortunately, unfortunate play there from Nemui. Dimensional Drift trying to clear out as much space as he can and try to combo it with the Hunter's Fury, but this wasn't unfortunately landing the hits that were needed, and Splash managed to get that 3k there during that round, being absolutely fantastic for Chubby Bunnies, being able to bring some form of momentum back over towards their side.
Yeah, it was a clean round, from the side of Chubby Bunnies. Granted, they did end up losing 2 to Lychee, I believe, so a little bit not the best for their case since their economy isn't in its best shape, but they're definitely going to be appreciating that now as they are going to be going into the next round with some rifles, full rifles actually, in fact, as it will be the fake out to get the trap wire. In fact, they're going for a fast C push down to Garage as well, and they are able to take it. Shotgun as well to clear out the side, and now backside control is actually in favor of Trident as Chubby Bunnies decide to give it up.
Spike down, C.
Yeah, we can see Splash here managed to get a pick onto Kakashi. Plant will be going down, but in this 4v5, however, it will be looking quite well for Trident.
Yeah, the relay bot comes on forward as well with the Paranoia. They're able to take backside on the side of Chubby Bunnies. They're looking for the kill. JJ as well swarming down through Garage. In fact, it's all down to Lychee and Nemui, who are rather split up, mind you. They don't really have beneficial post-plan situations here, as it will be Lychee falling as well. Very much aware of this flank player that is JJ, as, of course, Cypher knows a Cypher's play, right? Both of them lurkers. Yeah. They read each other well.
Yeah, excellent site retake though from Chubby Bunny, being able to really play off that convergent paths, I believe, from Splash, and it was actually I mean really well played there, being able to swarm that front side and look just pincering Trident there.
I think Trident were definitely not ready for that play actually coming out from the side of Chubby Bunnies. In fact, it was really that swarm they took. Again, having the numbers advantage helps a lot there, but they were able to take backside and Trident just couldn't seem to contest. And Trident, I think they're wary of this now because Chubby Bunnies get 2 in a row. And once again, they're contesting the neutral space. I don't know if this is very effective for the side of Chubby Bunnies.
Yeah, no, I mean, they will be able to hold this space. However, I'm not too sure how that will really go well for them. They will be able to get the pick on Lychee, but it's just JJ left over to fend the C side, and we'll just be forcing and playing, playing back for the retake.
That was greedy coming out from Lychee, honestly, to just blind swing out, knowing that they were hard contesting A-Long. And now, it's going to be a 4 versus 5. This is looking like a repeat of the previous round. I do believe Chubby Bunnies should have the advantage here as they're now looking to execute towards his backside. But they have to be wary. Trident, control of Garage, droning it out. They want to clear out the space and can look for the wall banks as it will be the tag coming on forward as well with the saturate. Gate crash as well from Nemui to go back towards Long. In fact, Paranoia down towards Long and the default will be coming out as well, able to get the blind with the light speed. They are trying to take full control back on the backside. However, Wilted Evans falling as well. Nove and Nemui have to get the shots through the smokes, but it won't be enough. Nemui with a Vandal, not the best weaponry here for spamming. And Chubby Bunnies, once again, similar to the previous round, they're able to take back C site.
You know, absolutely amazing, amazing retake yet again for Chubby Bunnies. I mean, I'm just very weird play there by Lychee. You know, playing over like really greedy, for a pick on towards A-Long, and you know, gets punished for it.
I feel like Lychee, right, wanted to play for something here. Like he thought they were gonna be fast rotating. It was a fake contest. It was a gamble. Right? But I'd rather when you're playing the lurk, the insert, the distraction, when your team has no space elsewhere, you make the space. You need to play the distraction. So playing it safer, using utility would have been way more beneficial for them, as Sandwich actually holding onto this angle with the operator, unable to get the shot now. They are aware of the operator down towards mid. In fact, they are doing... Ooh, I love this smoke, by the way. I'm a big fan of this. You can actually go for a plant here out in this pop smoke. In fact, they are going to be going for the swing potentially here. It's the blind side. Comes on forward, going for the blind with a recon dart, looking for the swing down towards Splash. Able to get the wall bang? No, but Splash still ends up falling. Spike will be planted down towards the open. No one flanking on the side of Chubby Bunnies. So this should be a clean plant for the side of Trident. Gate crash towards backside. Nemui looking for the swing off the Paranoia. Able to back out with the recon dart as well. Trying to get the scan onto one of the players of Chubby Bunnies. So looking for the retake, but the rebot ends up stalling. And yet, Chong is able to get a kill with the overdrive. Blinded out. Nove ends up falling as well, despite the overdrive. In fact, it's falling apart for the side of Trident. But it will be Nemui to find the kill, as well as Lychee going for the lurk kill down to the 1 versus 2. Chong picking up the Vandal with 0 bullets. Has to reload and gets surrounded in this angle. Picking up a weapon that had no bullets. Costed him his life. And with that, Trident bring it to an 8-4 half.
You know, so unfortunate there for Zhong picking up that gun with 0 bullets in hand. You know, I mean, what a really rough situation, and Trident was able to win that last round for that second half. Well, and we're looking at it, it's 8-4 yet again a bit.
It's the third map. It's the third map that's 8-4. This entire series has been 8-4. First one was Chubby Bunny. Now, both maps were Chubby Bunny being on 8-4. But this time it's Trident that's 8-4. See, that's the difference.
That is the difference, yeah, indeed. And like, honestly, it was just an amazing... What an amazing half that was for Trident, though. Like, really showing that they're still in this game, despite going 4-13 in the in that Breeze game that we encountered.
See, here's the thing. Here's the question now. Are we going to be seeing a map number 1 repeat or a map number 2? Let's see. But the blind, the relay ball is beautiful from the side of Trident, completely surrounding them. However, it's a 1-for-1. A 1-for-2. Despite all the util dump coming out from the side of Trident, they end up losing on the trade. In fact, Wilted low on HP as well. And yet, Nemui able to find a pick. But JJ responds, taking down Wilted. 3 versus 2. They don't have any lurks on the side of Chubby Bunny. In fact, it's going to be Lychee looking for the mid push-up. Onto window, low HP, mind you, on Chong, but it will be the swing. Lychee needs to back away, but the wall bang sheriff shot is beautiful. And now Nemui has to book it all the way towards C.
Yeah, no, and is faced with quite a difficult situation. I mean, 3v1 clutch here, and it will just be Zhong holding this garage space while the rest of JJ and Riles just hold this site and won't be. No.
No.
Wait.
Not
No way.
again.
No way. Not again.
No, the 2 series I've casted had knife kills. The first series I casted had a knife kill, and the second one, which is this series, has a knife kill again here, Mal. What?
What are these coincidences that we're actually bringing into our series that we're casting of this? I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. Wait, you were also there. You
was
were my
also
co-caster.
there.
Yeah, you were my co-caster. We have 100% win rate, 100% rate of having a knife kill in a series so far.
That's actually crazy.
If I had a nickel for every time there was a knife kill in a series, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's weird, it happened twice. And speaking of which, Sandwich as well with a kill down towards Long with the Marshall will be giving them the advantage here in this second round.
Yeah, and it's just looking quite slow for Chubby Bunnies at the moment, you know, and just having Trident just playing off together towards the C site here, not really needing to really overextend, you know, they just want to play with each other, and that's fine, you know, they're having a little party towards C here. Did Lychee that get caught out by the Eldron?
I think he thought he did, but I don't think so, funnily enough. Yet, he's going to be re-rotating, and I think Chubby Bunnies, they're actually falling into this trap. They have no information whatsoever, but I think the information JJ will get here should confirm to them that C site is definitely the dangerous one.
Yeah, and we can see here Relay Bot will be coming forth with the fast lane as well, and the entry will be looking for. It's a fake out over towards C site, and yeah, JJ will just be calling over towards Chubby Bunny, being like, "Hey, A site's free, guys. You can come over here."
I like the pings, by the way. I like the pings. It was pinged down on sewers that it could be dangerous. See, and I love the communication coming out from Chubby Bunnies. They ping out JJ saying, "I did not clear out sewers. You need to clear it yourselves." And now they have full side control with the numbers advantage, looking for the kill. The shock darts come on forward as well. No smoke on top of heaven, however. Nove can look for a kill with a bandit, but this is gonna be a difficult retake. Cage as well for the pop out, but now it will be a potential play coming out from the side of Trident. They need to force something here, trying to fake a little bit of a push as the dark cover comes on forward from both sides. They need to go right into the crossfire. That is Chubby Bunny, and with that, they get completely decimated by Riles with the 3-piece, and it will be the anti-eco round going to the side of Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny yet again being able to win the anti-eco. But Trident though will place a little bit of a dent over towards Chubby Bunny's eco. I say slightly. I mean, it can still buy rifles, mind you, but it's looking quite even so far though in this half. For Trident and Chubby Bunny, you know, both teams trying to play and read each other's play styles, you know, really well.
Yeah, I agree. So far, the game has been pretty competitive, I will say. So it's looking a little bit like map number 1, I would say. But now a stun comes on forward and Wilton gets hit quite by it. But now he's able to get the kill nonetheless. However, it's a 1-for-1 so far. Phantom picked up as well. Wilton gets traded out. And now 3 versus 3. Spike has yet to be planted. This is the bonus round, mind the way. So Trident has to win this out as cleanly as possible, and yet it's a 2-for-2, in fact a 3-for-2 in favor of Chubby Bunnies. They are looking to win out the bonus, and now Kakashi and Nemui with the flank, able to get JJ, but it's a 3-piece now for Splash, and they are fully aware of where Nemui is playing. Down towards mid, looking for the info. Blindside comes out from the right side. He's aware that there's a potential crossfire, but they're playing double backside, looking for the raw swing, and it will be Chong to collect it. Bonus goes to the side of Chubby Bunny.
Absolutely amazing bonus round there for Chubby Bunny, being able to just play off each other. And just unfortunately, I feel like Nemui could have afforded to save that blind for, I don't know, to clear anything else except for front side, but he was just, you know, being very cautious, and I respect that. But yeah, no, Splash playing that really well.
I gotta say, Splash definitely is one of the players you need to look out for. I mean, if his game number 2 told us anything, he's definitely not a player you want to mess with, as now Splash is looking for a kill with the Outlaw, and he will be able to collect it. Yet Nemui, clean with the headshot, clean with the Sheriff, will be able to get the trade. And now 1-for-1. They're waiting for Nemui to overextend. Does have the gate crash available, and I think he's still gonna force it with the blind side. The dark cover comes out, and they're trying to contest this A main space. We'll be able to pick up the outlaw on Nemui, so value is given and taken by Trident.
Yeah, and Chubby Bunny here will just be looking over to pivot towards the C site with Lychee holding this at the rear end here with Kakashi as well. And yeah, we'll just be looking over towards the site exec.
Well, they do end up breaking the recon darts, so Chubby Bunnies will have a difficult time going into this, especially with the shock darts as well. The from the shadows gets broken as well, but the fast lane will be utilized with the paranoia to try and support with the utilization, but Sandwich is still able to get the kill despite being blinded out with the Odin running on forward as well. You can't be serious, Chong. A run and gun with an Odin is ridiculous to me, but that's one way to enter into the site with your Neon, and with that, Chubby Bunnies 4 versus 1, Nemi with an outlaw. No way do you win this out, especially when they have full armor, and yet the headshot is a beautiful way to open up the map. And now, Nemui, Sheriff at hand, can look to clutch it up, but I don't have much hope for this Yoru. Yet, if it's any a time to pop off here, Nemui, it is now. You need to break the confidence of Chubby Bunny. Yet, I don't know if it's possible. Trapwire. It is there. He needs to be careful. We'll be using the fake out, looking for the swing, but it's a triple peek coming out from the side of Chubby Bunny, and they tie up the game.
That is absolutely crazy. Winning out 4 rounds now. The momentum is sort of sitting quite nicely onto their favor here. And Trident need to lock in here. I mean, what is happening, guys? We were winning 8 rounds before in the first half, and the momentum is now swung back onto Chubby Bunnies. We've got to lock in.
You gotta lock in, you gotta lock in and try and put a stop to the bleeding. 4 rounds in a row for the side of Chubby Bunny, and now they are looking to aggress once again. They are pushing onto the A side with full offense, and I don't know if Trident are ready for this. The convergent path as well, catching onto 2, and Kakashi's caught right in the open. Let's see if he can get behind the smoke. In fact, he will be able to do so at the very least, and now, despite that, Wilton will be able to get a kill through the smoke on to Splash, and now they have the advantage. Trident can look to convert this with the numbers advantage. They don't have much ultimates available, but then we can use the dimensional drift, a flank kill as well. No, a kill down from heaven actually onto Riles, who TP on him forward. Spike down on the ground. Drone trying to scout out. Nemui scouting out A long as well. Novi finds the kill on the Sandwich and falling apart on the side of Chubby Bunny down to the last 2 remaining players as the Odin kill is beautiful.
No.
Shorty shots as well from the Yoru, and now it's all down to JJ. On the 1 versus 4, gets blinded out looking for a swing, but there's too much fire from the side of Trident, and with that, they finally get around in the second half.
Let's go. I mean, that dimensional drift there by Trident was very well executed. Being able to get as much information possible for Trident's retake there, and it aided them like so well.
At this point, Trident, at the very least, they had to win a clean round. Their economy, not in the best state, so winning a round like that is super important going to the next, because they're able to save the Odin and they can full buy their weapons. But they have to be worried because Sandwich has an operator on the attack side. Can look to contest this A push, but the dark cover makes it a bit difficult. Owl Drone clear it out at the very least, but Nove will be spotted out. Tag not there, but Sandwich and look for the opening kill. Shots not landing. Nove, in fact, to get the chip damage, and now they are aware of this op on the hands of Sandwich.
Yeah, Chubby Bunnies here just looking towards, both teams just not wanting to really overextend.
Trying to find the trap wire, so trying to figure out where the utility is being placed from Trident here, but nothing much is being given. No information actually in the fact of Trident's being given besides Nove's position. So now they kind of have to just blindly clear out the corners, and I think Nemui can find the timing here if he so chooses to do so, but he doesn't have a great crash. So there's a 1 for done potentially here, but Nemui timing is perfect, able to get 1. In fact, it's gonna be a 2 for 1, but he has no gate crash as I mentioned. Blindside comes on forward with the fake out, and now he gets blinded out as well with that clone, but it doesn't matter. Splash able to get the trade, but now Kakashi, Odin coming on forward, able to find 2. Kakashi holding on to the backside with the weapon that's perfect for holding on to corners, and with that, Trident are able to get the double digits.
Yeah, just very unfortunate. Zhong was being held for the wide swing there by Kakashi's Odin and just dashing straight on forward into the crossfire as well. And it is looking like Trident bring this back a little bit now, trying to hold the reins up in the lead here. 10 going 10 and 8 so far.
Honestly, Trident, I think they're starting to get a grasp, right? They're trying to like push their limits here. But now, speaking of pushing, Chubby Bunny are gonna be pushing down towards the seaside, and they are gonna be taking it for free actually, but not really free because Sandwich actually committed the overdrive, and now the Hunter's Fear coming out as well, and now trying to get the tag, unable to do so. But this does delay the plant at the very least, so they can choose to swarm on the side of Trident as now. Spike will be planted. Hunter's Fear coming out as well from the side of Chubby Bunny. In fact, trying to look for a tag of their own, but can't seem to land. Neither Sova ult actually finding value. Finally, there will be a tag with the light sheet, but the drone comes on forward as well. Sandwich on a stinger. Only without the ultimate, it will be a bit difficult. Shotgun's not landing as well, but it will be going on forward. The blind side, able to find one, able to find two. It will be Splash to get the kills. Kakashi with Odin still is able to find one of his own, but now it's not the light sheet Nove. Backside control still in the favor of Chubby Bunny. The neural theft giving them information, but it's not enough. Splash with a 3-piece, aware that Nove is all the way on the flank, but it will be the shot to the dark cover once again. It's so many blind shots being done here, and yet Chubby Bunny will be taking a round.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely incredible sight take there by Chubby Bunnies. I mean, you know, using the overdrive to really push their way forward and force a retake on towards Trident. Looking very solid for their sight take there.
Yeah, I think right now, Chubby Bunny, they definitely are trying to pick up the pace here, trying to catch Trident off guard. Thing is, Trident, will they adjust quick enough for this kind of play? And I think they will, because right now, they do have the overdrive available. So if they want to force a fight, they can do that if they really want to. But I think they are going to be playing a bit defensively, knowing that they need to give at least a little bit of space, given the fact that they don't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, going 10 and 9 here. You know, Shock Dart trying, being quite, I don't know where that Shock Dart lands.
I believe that goes into B side entrance, so it breaks the trap wire towards B entrance, but there's no trap wire there. Both trap wires on A, but why are you triple stacking your Cypher side? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that is also what I'm wondering as well. I think they're trying to play off each other, but Chubby Bunny here looking over to do a C push here. Overdrive being online for Nove here. And it will just be a fake out over towards and send them over towards A site.
It's a fake fake out.
Wait, it's a fake
fake out.
Hang on.
They completely bait out the push, and now the overdrive is gone on Nove. So they actually lose their firepower, and Sandwich crosses for free. He should be able to get backside control, but this corner from Nove should find some value, but no. Splash, ready for the corner play, and now it looks like Chubby Bunny with the double play, the double fake out, actually ends up working in their favor. Spike being planted. They even have the lurk as well from JJ. And now Kakashi, the Odin, good at holding, can't really find value in pushes, generally speaking. So they're gonna have a tough time here on the retake. Trident looking to play this slowly. 4 versus 4. Nove and Riles dead on the teams, and now Recon Dart will be coming on forward, but there's a convergent path as well. I don't think we're gonna be pushing this. It's just to stall out the push, but Sandwich finds the kill to Nemui. And now they are looking to push on forward towards Garage. In fact, JJ is the one to be able to find a kill to Kakashi. And we are seeing a tied game here, folks. It is now 10-10.
That 10-10 even score line. Absolutely insane work from Chubby Bunny to try and to even this game out. And that convergent paths just to delay the push was absolutely well timed there, securing the round 1 for Bunny.
Yeah, I think Chubby Bunny, right? They are starting to push a bit more aggressively here, but it's calculated. It's not just a random play that they're looking for. They're really trying to play it out round after round, time after time, forcing utility, forcing rotations, and that's what's working in their favor. As now, a lurk up from JJ down towards A, sorry, but Riles actually able to get the kill to Wilted, and now it's actually gonna be Chong with the Odin here. And now with the player down on the side of Trident, they need to be careful of where they choose to play out their rounds, as Nove will be picking up that Vandal, Neural Theft as well, revealing the information here as the Relay Bolt comes on forward as well. The counter Relay Bolt to try and stall out faster down towards A-Link. Saturate as well to stall out a retake. But now the Odin comes into play. But no! Unable to find a kill. Riles actually is the one to find the kill on Kakashi. And now they're overextending. Nemui able to get one. But there is the push on forward from the side of Chubby Bunny. It will be Lychee spotting out Splash. But now it's a 2 versus 4. I don't think they can look for this retake here. They are low on credits here on the side of Trident.
Yeah, no, it is looking really rough. And you just see JJ here just waiting over towards this B side, trying to get a timing, and does get a pick on Nova, and is all just left down to Lychee. We do know them as the clutch god. Well, will they be able to clutch out this round? Unfortunately not, as they get swept up by Splash, and it's now 10-11 for Bunny.
Oh boy, 2 rounds away for the side of Chubby Bunny to close out this entire series and move on forward in the lower bracket. Let's see if they can do this, because we are looking at potential overtime. But Trident are going to be on the economy round. They're going to be buying sheriffs and light armors. But I always say this time and time again, every time I see this, especially in high pressure scenarios, these sheriffs, they can do a number on you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, they're in the hands of these very high elo players, you know, Immortals and Radiance. They're essentially like second rifles to them.
Exactly, it really is. It really is. I think that's the value of sheriffs right in this game. And speaking of value, Riles actually gets some information here down towards platform. In fact, scaling on forward, and looks like it will be Lychee to fall first. Losing out on this backside control is so not beneficial for the side of Trident. But Kakashi, at the very least, takes down that Neon. 3 versus 4, able to pick up a rifle. Actually, the rifle's out in the open. He can't pick it up, and so they're still on sheriffs. Paranoia comes out towards default. They're looking for the swing here. Kakashi already out in the open, but he's completely blinded out. And now Chong takes him down. Splash as well, finding a pick of his own. It's all down to Nemui with the sheriff. Aldrone spots him out. Barrage. Here's the Shrouded Step, aware that Riles is close, looks for another Shrouded Step, trying to fake it out, but there is the spray down. Riles will be taking down the Yoru, and with that, Chubby Bunny are gonna be on match point.
Yeah, amazing paranoia by Riles. They're being able to deter Trident from pushing out that CT space, and you know, they were just all collapsed under Chubby Bunny's pressure there. And it's, you know, yeah, match point for Chubby Bunnies. Trident needing to look towards winning these next few rounds to bring this into overtime.
I do think this is possible for side of Trident. That was their save round Nemui on the operator, but they're actually pushing up A site, and there's not even Cypher utility on A. Not even a single trapper, only a camera, and now Chubby Bunny are just getting a free site for the taking.
Yeah, no, that is quite odd. I mean, it does look like Trident will just be trying to play for this retake. It will be looking quite rough, though. Lychee here.
Looking for the saturate, looking for the kill. In fact, Dimensional Drift is a tad bit too late. Kakashi able to get a kill at the very least towards Chong, and now it's a 4 versus 4. Looking for the kill. Hunter Sphere coming out as well from Kakashi. Needs to be careful of the push-up. However, they don't end up doing so. Graffiti control on the side of Chubby Bunny. 4 versus 4. But Nemu is able to find a kill with the flank with that operator. Now getting the numbers advantage. Looking for the kill with the frenzy. However, they are surrounded. He pincered on forward. Chubby Bunny falling apart. Nove finding the kill on the Rouse, and Trident somehow makes this retake work.
What an incredible retake there from Trident. I mean, look, Dimensional Drift is gonna come out either way. They pulled out all stops there. Hunter's Fury as well, being invested in Trident. Absolutely amazing retake, and the recon dart as well. It's all the usual coming in together to try and pull it back. You know, all they need is one more round. I could hear it in the VCs right now. The screaming that they're doing. They're trying to hype each other up. You know, they will be trying to bring this into OT, whether, you know, one way or another.
I do think right now it's going to be an interesting round from the side of Trident and Bunny, because they are going to be on equal buys. They have the operator available as well on the side of Trident, as Nemui tries for an aggressive play, and look at Wilton's position. Can look for the kill over the smoke, but he gets spotted out. Odin could cost him, but at the same time, both of them tagged up. And now they end up deciding to not contest that angle, as Chubby Bunny are looking for the seaside play, but Nemui is ready for this play. They do have the jump bot forward, and they will spot him out, but now they need to be careful of the re-peek. In fact, Nemui is not landing his shots. We'll have the gate crash away, and now it will be Chubby Bunny scaling up towards C.
You can see there here, we have the overdrive available for Sandwich, needing to get a pick of
Sandwich.
Nemui and Nove here.
They're looking for more. Sandwich trying to push on forward as well with the Phantom, looking for the raw game duels. Kakashi finally takes him down, but at the end of the day, it will be Chong to take down the final remaining player of Trident Esports, as it will be 13-11, a close call, but Chubby Bunnies come out on top and will be moving on forward in the lower bracket.
That was absolutely crazy from Chubby Bunny. I mean, look, from how both teams played that. We got on to map 3 for a good reason. These two teams are absolutely amazing in both their team skills and their individual plays. But that was just absolutely amazing. I mean, you had Sandwich just rip off the overdrive and managed to just every single time gets his frags, gets the impact kills, and you can see that. Despite that though, Splash, yet again, being the team MVP for Chubby Bunnies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Splash had an insane game, honestly, from both games, actually, in fact, sorry, from both these maps. And I gotta say, with that, Splash once again leading the charge, 22-18. A much closer game, though, from the side of Trident Esports, but Chubby Bunnies, they looked a lot more stable, especially on their second half. Trident Esports looked strong, but at the second half, where things swapped out, the momentum started to shift, and just Splash led that charge.
Yeah, as you can see here, 22-18 and fourth with a 272 ACS, 27% headshot rate. I mean, you know, it is the map 3. Maybe he's going a little bit tired from all the headshots. But honestly, just an absolute amazing work from Chubby Bunnies. You know, playing all stops really to bring this map into fruition after losing on Breeze by such a devastating amount. Was it Breeze? I believe.
Breeze is where Chubby Bunny stomped them 13-4. So yeah, Trident Esports got absolutely stomped there. But map number 3 was a lot closer, and they did end up winning map number 1. Remember that. So I will have to hand it to Trident Esports, who had a really good series, honestly. But Chubby Bunnies just seemed to be a tad bit better overall, and that's how they were able to win it out, with Trident winning out 13-9. But the rest of the maps, Chubby Bunnies came out on top despite being on the uphill battle right off the bat in this best of 3 series. And look at that, they were able to win out on their map and the decider.
Yeah, no, looking absolutely pristine on their end, and they will be breathing a sigh of relief as they, manage to bring it back up for their team, and they will be moving on forward, closer to the bracket now, and they will be facing
Bao's Little Buns.
Yeah, Bao's Little Buns, our favorite Bao's Little Buns. I mean, Chubby Bunny and Bao's Little Buns. I think it will be a very interesting game between those two.
I love the names already, by the way. Chubby Bunnies, and you see like Poe, eating some. And it's Bao's Little Buns. What's with the food references and stuff? Or like I love it. I personally love it. Mind you, whoever wins between Chubby Bunnies and Bao's Little Buns will be moving on to the playoffs alongside Yijing and Group B, with Yijing being obviously the first seed, and then Group A it will be Troopers, that is the first seed in the Group A, with Noob Esports and Big T and Kittens being the ones to battle it out, duke it out to move on forward as well into the playoffs, right? So this group stage isn't far from over, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely 100%. But yeah, that will be pretty much concluding today's series, and honestly, it's been such a back and forth with these guys, and it's just been absolutely amazing to see how these two teams brought it out. But a huge shout out to Trident Esports. It will be, despite it being your last series, you made it a very memorable one to remember.
Yes. Well, honestly, as you mentioned, right, Trident Esports gave it their all, but they are going to be eliminated. And of course, Chubby Bunny will be moving on in the series. So they are going to be fighting Bao's Little Buns to make it as a second seed of Group B into the playoffs. But we shall see how that goes, because we still have other series in store for us. So guys, make sure to subscribe and, stick around and watch the live because there's a lot more games in store for everyone here for the rest of the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitational. But with that being said, guys, I'm your caster for today, and Abyss, and joined with me is Malachi, and we're gonna be signing off. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.
See you later. Bye bye.
我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，金矿让人前世，可失败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮就无奈，你没胜利也不受崇拜。I'm a great, I go way, pop and paving my way through the smoke and the flame and the cold and the rain. Yeah, you wanna be me, but I stand out. You on flat earth, looking at my cloud. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 精神也很顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，金矿让人前世，可失败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮就无奈，你胜利也不受崇拜。Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 你看我的 set 就知道我的团队在团结。Team is the best， 他们值得 respect， 我们之间有巨大的差别。连我妈妈也叫我永远的神。Go go。我一回家，她说大儿子你很 tough， 一直不带不能被取代，比我更努力的人也不存在。到时我起来和演算难直接出来那战斗。I'm great, I go way, pop and paving my way through the smoke and the flame and the cold and the rain. If you wanna be me, but I stand out. You're on flat earth looking at my cloud. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. Standing tall through the test. 我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，金矿让人前世，可失败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮就无奈，你的胜利也不受崇拜。我的精神也很顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，金矿让人前世，可失败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮就无奈，你的胜利也不受崇拜。Standing tall through the test. 咱们值得 respect. Standing tall through the test. 咱们值得 respect. 精神也很顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，金矿让人前世，可失败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮就无奈。And now we still go ape, hey. Standing tall to the test. Standing tall to the test. I'm a true to respect. Standing tall through the test.